Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games.
Bob, our new intro has ray tracing.
Ooh, cool. KZ Excellent.
I'm optimistic about things.
And Mr. Feel.
I'm from Tomato Town, and I say kill them all.
Here on GigaBoots.
We are reaching the end of our rare journey. We beat Kameo last Friday.
You sure did.
What a game.
It is a surprisingly decent game when it's boosted by the Series X to play at 30 frames per second.
Yes.
Blistering speed.
Yes.
You're just blowing up blimps.
Yeah, that game, surprisingly decent platformer. Weirdly not rare-like in a number of ways. A boss will have a way of defeating it, and you only do it twice sometimes.
Yeah. Huh. There are multiple ways to beat some bosses?
Yeah. Weirdly enough, the second KZ showed up, that stopped happening.
Yes. When KZ
I showed up and
he
you fought a
he
boss for
cursed
20
us.
minutes.
Like a vengeful spirit. KZ's like, it should be more rare-like, and then it became.
Yeah, hell yeah.
They need
That's
to
what
get
I
some
wanna hear.
fetishes in here.
Yeah, it wasn't weirdly fetishized and disgusting most of the time.
I mean,
Like,
aside from the main character being a fairy,
yes.
you know, in the way she flies and where the camera hangs out.
Yes.
Aside
Fucked
from
up,
that.
Dan. Now, every memory of that stream's coming back. That might have the most unhinged what were they doing ending I've seen in a while.
Yes.
Yes, the ending is really a wow moment. The rest of it seemed to, like, I described it multiple times during that stream as rare sobered up.
Yeah, like we have an overweight woman, but it's not offensive.
Yeah.
Like
It's not like she deserves to die.
yeah.
She's burping and eating all the time. Now blow her up.
Please look forward to when you death stream Jack 2 and you meet the fat man in there.
I doubt Naughty Dog will hand us TNT to blow him up as he eats at a Golden Corral, but I guess we'll find out when we get
Okay.
there.
Oh, it was just that he's fat and ugly, and they're like, look at him, and he's like, yeah, I'm evil.
Isn't he? I remember him looking like fucking the guy who runs the death show in X-Men, who's on like the robot spider.
He's got like a really dumb hover chair, and his legs
Yeah,
are
like
just
it's the
little
hover
baby
chair
twig.
like that.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's awful. But not rare awful, where it's like, oh, look at this porn.
Yeah, exactly.
Mojo. I'm thinking of Mojo.
Yeah. Most things don't fire at the rare level.
No.
In fact, this game really didn't fulfill those weird check boxes of multiple fetishes on screen for an uncomfortable amount of time.
Chewy.
That wasn't, that box was not checked. There were a number of things, but yeah, I think the real tragedy here is that we know, of course, this thing ran like shit originally.
Yeah.
It ran at like 20 to 10 frames per second there. It's really sad because I'm sure it would have been received a little bit better if it ran well. But smooth brain fucking journalists, game reviewers specifically, gave Perfect Dark Zero a much higher score than this, which is nuts.
Yeah, there was no point in history where Perfect Dark Zero was acceptable. This is like a confident platformer a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kept saying that game wasn't done. This one,
Was sort of done.
Yeah, most people looked at that game and thought it was a commercial's idea of what a game is.
Yes.
Like a television commercial, which has a fake video game so they can sell you whatever the real product is.
Yeah, it's what someone playing the background of a CIS episode.
It's what those kids at Westwood College were making.
tighten up these graphics.
Yeah, they forgot to do that with Perfect Dark Zero.
Oh no.
They forgot to tighten up those graphics. Kameo looks like a real game, and it plays like a real game, and it's not weirdly malicious in a way where you can tell the devs are getting their jollies off. The weirdest part, I think, and one of the most remarkable parts of Kameo, is there's a moment in the stream when we realize, so there are these discrete worlds, all separate, about 5 of them, and you go to them to do these levels, and when you do these levels, they are, like you expect with Banjo, just areas you can move around in and get collectibles. And then there's a boss at the end of this level, and then you get jumped back to the city of that world. It'll be the ice city or the tree city or whatever, right? But in between all of these, there's an overworld, and the overworld has the big battles that are really impressive in next gen.
That Twilight Princess ripped off.
And after this happened enough times, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is a really fucking weird thing. Because in a way, that game was sort of reminding me of Zelda. In a way, it was sort of like, I can't wait to play Star Fox Adventures because that seems even closer to Zelda. But this seemed like it has a little bit of that structure, just a little bit in my brain. And I was like, man, wouldn't it be fucking weird if they just implemented tech demo like giant battles into the overworld of Zelda? And then someone in chat's like, yeah, they did in Twilight Princess. And I look over at Bob, I'm like, Bob, is that true? And Bob gets the 1,000-mile stare like that dog did at those cupcakes. And I'm just like terrified on stream. I'm
really
like, no,
don't remember.
What?
Those fucking cupcakes.
They aren't huge battles like this, but they are
Tech demo-ish.
Yeah, it is like, oh, this is the part where Link does a sword fight on horseback with a horde of enemies.
Yeah,
I thought that was just a boss fight, like a set piece that happened once, though. Like it didn't happen multiple times.
It might have been just once. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through that sometime after Ocarina.
Because I remember that motherfucker who rides across the bridge in Smash is the boss fight you fight on the horse, but I don't know if it happens more than once.
People were making it sound like it does. I'm very excited to find out. But you know, I got to get through Ocarina of Time first, so that way we can do our Star Fox adventures.
Yes.
Hey, you got to play Ocarina of Time so you can play Twilight Princess, a game that's a lot like Ocarina of Time, except.
Yes. I actually beat Wind Waker a long ass time ago, but I've never beaten Ocarina of Time. Wind Waker's really great.
Yeah, Ganon's real cool.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I'd play that again. I wish that they would put it on something more modern than the Wii U.
Don't worry, your time to pay $60 with me will come.
Okay, sure. Nintendo can have $180 if they put all three of those on Switch. Otherwise, they're not getting anything from me because I refuse to only have Skyward Sword.
That's a fair opinion.
The Triforce.
Yes. Nintendo has the upside down Triforce and it says lie, cheat, steal.
Maybe they will be kind and put the Wii U games that came out on a 2-pack for $60.
No.
Incredibly unlikely.
No, they'll see what PlayStation's doing and charge $70 for each of these.
I was really glad to see that Ninja Gaiden collection got announced for like $30 or $40.
It was so incomprehensible to me that KZ was comparing any version of Zelda that Nintendo has turned out to Demon Souls that I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Sony's never done a remaster for $70. Because like, you go and look at how Twilight Princess looks on the Wii U, and people are like, yeah, and this is how it looks in emulators nowadays when people do their custom shit. And I'm like, yeah, that looks a lot better. Twilight Princess does not look especially good on the Wii U. Wind Waker, though, they tried on that one.
Right.
They improved Wind Waker a little bit over the originals. Twilight Princess is like, it comes with an amiibo of furry Link. Buy it, you degenerate fucks.
And you're like, I need it. Like, go get it.
I'm like, yeah, I need that because it does shit in Breath of the Wild. I need that. Damn it. And then Bob got the amiibo, and I'm like, well, now I never need to buy the Twilight Princess.
I'm glad we were able to get that all figured out and done.
Yep. And then they're like, hey, do you want Skyward Sword on the Switch? And I'm like, I don't know. Do I want Skyward Sword on the Switch? Should I play that on Wii? And every human went, no, you do not want to play that on the Wii. I was like, oh, okay.
Get your Wii Motion Plus out here.
Yeah, it's really funny. I still think the Wii Motion Plus in the original release is going to feel better than those Joy-Cons. As someone who's played probably most of the games that use motion control on the Switch, more than most humans, those Joy-Cons are not as good as Wii Motion Plus. Not even close.
Man.
What's up?
At least, it has the crutch of you can use controllers now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to be using motion, so I won't be able to compare.
Exactly. Like, it would be pointless if they weren't doing that.
Well, now I have to use motion so I can compare.
I have to bleed myself.
I'll play a bad version of the Zelda game so I can compare it.
Yes.
To another bad version.
Yeah, I know.
This is correct. Well, I mean, I sat there and announced we were going to do the Ocarina of Time playthrough. And somebody tried to send me a quality of life patch version. I'm like, that's not the point of Avenging My Youth. I need to experience the game as it was, so that way I don't have a weird conversation where I'm like, yeah, that game has no flaws, no problems at all. And then someone mentions an insane problem, and I go, what? Oh, that didn't exist in this version.
You know, Dan, because you said that, now people are going to be like, why do you play things on the Series X where it runs right?
Because I know how Kameo ran originally.
Because you make sure to say it runs like shit on the stream anyway.
Non-fucking stop. I make sure that people realize that. Also, there's a world of difference between running the same game better and patching a lot of bug fixes and changing a bunch of things about it. Though your thing, Phil, your hypothetical actually did happen with the Switch tweet I made, where I said, I don't really dislike the Switch. It's my second favorite console. I just find it unfortunate when games are wholly exclusive to it because I think it has the weakest controllers on the market and it has, objectively speaking, the worst hardware on the market. And someone goes, how come you avoided playing Breath of the Wild this whole time because you were waiting for a Switch Pro, but you played games on your PS4 vanilla last year? And I'm like, well, because the PS5 was right around the corner. Most of the time I've owned Breath of the Wild, I didn't have time to play it. Now that I do have time to play it, the Pro's around the corner. So I'm just sitting here waiting.
See, the problem is people think that you literally were one of those psychopaths where the Switch was coming out and it was a month away from coming out and people were making threads on Reset Era of the Switch 2.
Yeah.
The upgraded Switch, which came up because someone said, I'm worried in a few months when I'm able to get a PS5, they'll announce the Pro.
That's insane. That's insane and very stupid. They say they're not interested in a Pro. I think that's really weird. I think they should make this the longest console generation there's ever been and do a Pro. But it sounds like Sony's not even interested in a Pro. So I think that's a pretty weird thing to be concerned about.
But yeah, people probably think you were like 2017 March. No, I'll wait for a new one.
Yeah, no, it literally was.
I bought the Switch, but I'll wait for the new one.
I just had absolutely no time then, and now I have time, especially if it's a death stream. But mostly only if it's a death stream, and the Switch Pro's right around the corner. Why wouldn't I just wait? Also, this is another layer that's really important to this conversation. There's a world of difference between the PS4 Vanilla's performance and the Switch's performance. The PS4 Vanilla can play Doom 2016 at 60 frames per second. So these are two different...
That's actually impressive.
These are two different levels of, I will tolerate this because this thing's right around the corner. But all of this is moot. Anyway, we played Kameo. Surprisingly all right. Functional platformer. One of the more pleasant, rare games we've played. Still not a super great game. And originally it ran like shit, which I'm sure really impeded on the enjoyability. Did you have any comments you wanted to say about that before we move on? Bob?
I guess not. Yeah, I would actually recommend trying Kameo. I went and read the manga for Kameo.
Fuck.
On a YouTube video?
On a YouTube video, because I couldn't find anyone who had uploaded it.
What was it? You said the last time you saw somebody get it, it was years ago, and it was for $70 or some shit?
Yeah, something like that. Like, they made $70. eBay doesn't even have any copies when I checked.
Yeah. And you said this thing came out years after the game.
Yeah, this came 2 years after the game, I believe. Includes the prequel story. Lets you know how Kameo ended up. Like, it is a royal family member and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of interesting. It's actually done by a Japanese artist, so it looks intensely actually like a manga. It's also like, I think 20 pages at most, like 15 maybe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's super short. It also introduces some lore that I'm not sure is in the main game about the royal family being able to turn people into stone, which is relevant for the ending.
So the manga writer...
What?
I better explain this.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nuts.
So I would suggest if you're playing all Kameo anyway, go find this YouTube video. I retweeted it a while ago.
God, this reminds that you got me nostalgic for when people would upload video chapters for manga for like Naruto and Bleach and One Piece, where they put music from the anime.
Oh my
and then they
god!
would dramatically like pan toward each panel, and I'm like, man, this is pretty ingenious.
It's nothing that fancy.
Yeah.
It's like we're making this for the people who are too lazy to just read it.
Yeah. I need to like. I found a ton of the pages in higher quality than they are in this 240p YouTube video.
Oh, stunning.
So I was like, I need to like consolidate these and upload them somehow and order them properly. I don't think I have all the pages yet though. So if anyone has a repository of all the Kameo manga pages, let me know. I'm interested.
We also played Killer Instinct 2. First, we tried to play Killer Instinct Gold.
The N64 port of Killer Instinct 2, which is great for people to see the difference in real time.
Yeah, the N64 version of Killer Instinct Gold, it is a nightmare. It feels like dog shit, and all the new characters I am not a fan of. It's full of awful characters. The levels aren't cool anymore. And
oh yeah, it's rough. Like I told you the plot where it's like Orchid beats Idol at the end of Killer Instinct 1 and causes a giant time explosion that blasts the entire roster 3,000 years into the past.
Yeah, that's terrible. So all the levels are that now. All the new characters are that
they're
now.
all themed on bad character designs that they had to fix in the reboot.
Yeah, it sucks so bad. It's so terrible, and the game feels like shit on top of it. Like, I thought maybe as a kid, something like I just played, who knows? I entertained vaguely that maybe I played that game at the launch of the N64 and went, why is it 2D? I hate this. Now, I've never been that type of person, but I entertained for one moment for most of my life that maybe that occurred for that one game.
You were like those reviewers that are like, fuck Symphony in the Night.
Yeah, Castlevania 64 is where it's at. Legends is good. X4's trash. But I entertained that. No, that game just, it's awful. It feels awful. Its stages look like shit. It feels like shit. Bad character designs. Music's, some's good, some's bad.
You get into that Orchid Club mix and you're like, yeah, I like this.
Yeah, Robin's knocking it out of the park with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Killer Instinct 2, the arcade version, at least fixes how it feels and looks. You know, the backgrounds are pre-rendered videos, frames specifically, that as you move, it moves the perspective in the 3D environment. It looks incredible. It's such a neat trick. And the game feels right. So, like, I sat down and I was like, I've never beaten Killer Instinct Gold that I can remember. I just remember the game feeling so bad and all the characters sucking. So I just didn't even try. And this is as someone who owned Killer Instinct for the SNES for years and loved that game. I stuck with Killer Instinct 2, the arcade version, until I beat it on that stream. It was a little difficult. It was very funny though, because in the middle of bashing my head against this brick wall of difficulty, I think this was the moment Retro Island Gaming came in and said, "Damn, do you always play games you hate?" And I'm like, I don't hate this game. It's just really hard. But also, this game is not as good as one.
Yeah. Just look at the final boss. The original one, it's, a two-headed demon with a club. It's generic gargoyle that goes rawr and his health goes up.
Yeah, nowhere near as creative as the original. The original game's so fucking cool and creative and awesome. Oh, and Cinder's fucking dead in this one.
Yeah, Cinder not being in it
that is the big problem.
makes it automatic 0, honestly.
Yeah, Cinder was one of my 3 main characters, so it's like, really?
You have the ice guy, but you don't have the fire guy. What's wrong with your head?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the problem is that their head doesn't fucking work.
I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, Killer Instinct 2, avenged my youth on that. Definitely not any more jazzed about that game than I was before. It goes up there with world's most disappointing sequels along with ActRaiser 2. Is it as bad as ActRaiser 2? No, nothing is. But it's ranking.
I've played ActRaiser 2, but I know what it does, and that's rough.
Have you played ActRaiser 1?
Yeah.
So here's the thing I'm going to explain real quick. Everyone will tell you they took out the strategy, and that's why this game is bad. KZ, that's maybe 30% of why that game is truly awful.
Oh, yeah, I heard they took out the strategy and the normal gameplay is bad.
Yeah, the normal gameplay is a fucking nightmare. You move at a third the normal speed. You have a weird double jump hover technique that really sucks. All your magic requires you to charge it. Oh, it's the worst. And the first level in the game is a swamp level. Like, fuck. It's a swamp level that's maybe 30 feet long, and because you move so slow, it takes you, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds to walk across the level, and then you get to a boss fight that fucking sucks because everything in that game sucks. Anyways, I've been thinking about avenging my youth on that game, but that's beside the point. Moving on. Because for people who didn't know, I grew up with ActRaiser, and then we bought ActRaiser 2, and me and my brother have never been so heartbroken over a sequel to a game being disappointing.
It ruined my life.
It's ruined my life. Beat the game, Dan. I don't want it. Part of me does, though. So that was our Friday stream. We've been really busy this week. A large part of our week has actually been recording analog gaming. We played a ton of stuff on that, and we're so excited for you all to see it, but we're not going to spoil it. We'll tell you what next week's episode is at the end of this. At the end of this whole big thing, not the end of the segment. So one of the few things we got to do outside of that Friday stream that was playing video games was join Vox for her birthday stream, where we did a Link to the Past randomizer multiplayer co-op online, where the game just starts and it's like, okay, every treasure chest in the game is completely random. Things that used to have 1 rupee now have the silver arrows. You need to bash your head against this game and find out how to get through it by opening every treasure chest available, and you're all able to do it all at once. So let me tell you, this had a very similar energy to us playing Diablo 2 with my brother Steve, as he sprints ahead of the whole party, opening every chest and killing everything.
I remember Grawl.
Grawl?
Yeah, Grawl. It's this ancient fucking online game that looked like multiplayer Link to the Past.
Huh.
And it was real big in 2001.
How you spell it? I want to try and find a picture of that.
Yeah,
Graal. And it still exists, but it's been like redone 150 times.
Yeah, I see that. You're totally right. This is straight up Link to the Past as fuck.
Yeah.
So, it was me, Bob, Vox, and Rebel Winter co-oping our way through Link to the Past. Rebel Winter, speed runs Link to the Past, by the way. When I was trying to help KZ find shit in Link to the Past, she was in chat being like, you passed a bottle. You did this. What are you doing? Have it blow up that wall. And I'm just like, stop.
Put
please.
it in your brain.
So most of that part of the stream was us just seeing these pop-ups at the bottom of the screen. You now have this. You now have this. You now have this. Because Rebel Winter's she knows where every chest is available from the get.
So the rest of us are just wandering around being like, there's nothing here.
I'm kind of finding stuff, but a good half of the stream was me running into a thing and being like, she's been here.
We're wandering around a dead world. Someone has taken everything.
Basically.
I was just that John Travolta clip the whole time of looking back and forth.
Oh, the John Travolta clip?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. There was a point in time where we stuck you in charge of, what was it? You were watching the Master Sword?
Yes.
And we were like, wait, we may not need the Master Sword. How about you go beat that castle? So Bob starts working on the castle. He's like, I don't think there's any treasure chests in here, guys.
Yeah.
That was an insane experience. It was kind of cute, kind of fun. Let me tell you about the real goat of that stream. 100% orange juice. This is not new news. It is a very old game. I assume no one knew about this game because it is a party game, sort of Mario Party style. Sort of. I'll cover it. Based on characters from a series I know most people have never fucking heard of. I was like, ain't nobody out here talking about Sora or Acceleration Suguri X or any of these other games. Why do so many people seem to know about Orange Juice? Apparently, it's because this game, 100% Orange Juice, being this really delightful board game where you get to choose your character. There's a giant roster. I think it's 4 to 6 characters are free to begin with. And then you could just buy, a ton of these different Sora characters, Orange Juice characters for like $2 each. And your character has really specific mechanics that work out in interesting ways as you play this board game that is about you doing combat with random enemies via dice rolls or beating up other competitors with dice rolls to get a set number of stars in order to win the game. So it's like if somebody turned Mario Party into a dice-based board game and then turned that into a video game and then turned every character into an Orange Juice character, and then the entire soundtrack is literally free music. But really good free music, weirdly enough. There were like some excellent songs in there, and I'm like, chat, are you sure this is free, not just royalty free? They're like, no, it's free. And I'm like, what? Can I be using this music? I need to look this up. Orange Juice is really, really great. I'm going to play that again sometime soon. I don't know. Might have to do, like, me and Bob do Orange Juice with random co-hosts.
Right.
Because, yeah, there's the delightful stuff like you'll have stats to your characters, like you have extra defense, extra evade, or maybe you have minus attack or something. And then some characters will have like an ultra gimmick where if you draw the hyper card, you can become the badass version of your character. So my character was Casual Tomomo, I believe. And if I got the hyper card, I could go from sleeping or lying down in pajamas to Sweet Eater Tomomo, which was insanely powerful. I didn't get that card once.
Yes. It's like, got your magical girl transformation you can't use.
Yes, it was kind of hilarious. Also, everyone kept beating the shit out of me the entire stream. The game's really fun. It's dangerous though. I kind of want to buy a shitload of DLC characters and just keep changing them.
Yeah, each match takes like an hour or so you really
maybe
it's an investment.
I know, like they took about 37 turns.
Yeah.
I didn't keep track of the time very well at all. But you could play such cool characters as, and I'm posting the image, Yuki Dangerous.
Yes, Yuki Dangerous was my character of choice. She was dangerous.
Yeah, that's definitely that's somebody's Gaia Online avatar.
Yes,
Yeah.
they all have that energy. It's so fucking, it's delightful. So here's a Casual Tomomo. Okay, Tomomo Casual. And if I had pulled off the gimmick to turn hyper, this is what I would have turned into, Tomomo Sweet Eater. This game's hilarious.
That's real good.
+3 attack's insane. Good lord. Yeah, no, I'm going to play some more Orange Juice, 100% Orange Juice soon. I think it's really fantastic that, this Dojin series has this game. And that this game stands on its own and people have come to it just for it.
And apparently there's incentive to buy their other games in this game. Like, oh, if you buy this one, you'll get this character in the board game.
Yeah, and since we own those games, at least one of them on PS3, we don't have that credit.
Right.
So we need to pick them up on Steam and get really into the Orange Juice universe. How else are we going to learn about the pudding jokes? Entire storylines about pudding. This is important shit, gentlemen. But yeah, that's all we played this week. Right, Bob?
Other than Halo, which crashed a few times for you.
So I played Halo with the community, and the Series X crashed out of the game twice. One of the times it crashed, I was the host, and it left everyone in limbo. So once the game actually ended, they got stuck on a loading screen.
It's done, though. It's complete.
The game's totally fixed. It also had
best story in all video games.
Yeah, definitely. Good job, journalists. There were a number of other issues, but it just gets lost in the fray of how many times it crashed and other issues.
I don't play this game enough to actually know, but they released a press release saying it was good, so I guess it's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody wrote that. Why would they write that if it wasn't true? This game is fixed. 343's really make it a comeback. I enjoyed Halo with the community. I need to do that more. Once certain problems resolve themselves, I also need to smash this Xbox. These are two irrelevant points of data. But with that, we're done with this segment. We're going to move on to KZ. KZ, what you been playing?
Fortnite.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Like, for real, though?
I've been thinking about it and just going, I had a moment where I went, what the fuck? I played Fortnite. I had that moment during a stream when I was talking about how I got a dub in Fortnite and I won. I watched the they're doing like a new season, I guess. So they put out a cinematic. Fortnite has a story in it.
Sure.
My understanding is there are multiple realities and multiple versions of the same character voiced by Troy Baker, and they have to stop some weird glowy thing in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And he teamed up with a robot dude, and then he was running around and was attacked by a xenomorph, and then Ryu from Street Fighter killed a banana named Peely, and I felt things.
Good.
Kind of fucked up. But yeah, I played that with some people. We did like some squad stuff. I tried out. They have like a team deathmatch mode in that as well. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. Like surprisingly good looking on PS5.
I bet.
Yeah, like they make you do some sort of like story set piece thing that takes place directly after their cinematic, and I'm like, oof, this like looks cool, and you can see the amount of money they're putting into everything. I made it. I made my skin a T800 from Terminator, and then I did the Fortnite dance, and I understood why this thing made $1 trillion.
Yeah, you got it.
Because I could do that. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun and enjoyable. I'm probably going to keep chipping away at it because I have other mutuals who are playing it. So it's fun to just mess around with.
I intended to play it once it got updated to Unreal 5, and maybe I'll just give it a try sooner.
It already like looks really good.
Yeah, I imagine on the PS5 that shit looks tight.
Yeah, like because they make you do that cool little cinematic thing, and it's like you're blowing up these portals and you're getting warped around. And I'm like, this looks impressive. just in general. And getting matches was pretty easy, and doing all that. And
it's the most popular game in the world. I can't get a match. I don't know what's going on.
yeah, I know. I laughed because at first someone fucked it up and we got split in our group where it didn't ready some of us, and I'm like, oh god, is it like Destruction All-Stars? And then they're like, oh, we'll just back out, and then they were immediately in the lobby again after half a second, and then we queued again. And I'm like, oh!
Yeah, things that are the most popular thing in the world are usually pretty polished.
Yeah, it
weird
seems to have a really solid online infrastructure. But yeah, like the gunplay and stuff felt pretty good in that once I actually got the flow of what you're supposed to do, how you like navigate all the different commands and stuff. And I won a match, which means the game is good. I was hiding in a house for like a couple minutes, but I still won. It got scary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. That's it for Fortnite. I don't really have anything else to say about that game.
I'm gonna snipe you, and it's gonna say you were killed by KZ cheats on wife.
They actually got rid of snipers entirely. Like apparently they're just not in. They've replaced them with bow and arrows that actually feel really satisfying to use.
Do they have adaptive triggers?
They don't, which is rough.
That's weird. I figured it would have actually.
That makes sense. They're adding Tomb Raider, right?
She's in the fucking battle pass. You go to the battle pass, you get the reboot one, but further in is a perfectly like recreated from the CG promo magazine art Lara Croft from like the 90s.
Yeah, that's what I saw and was like, why is this? Why is it in Fortnite she looking like she should?
I know.
And Square is too cowardly to make a game with this.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Just
well, look, they can't make a game where she looks like that because the insane person in charge of the franchise thinks she has to fall onto a piece of rebar.
And I kind of forget this is the biggest game in the world where they're like, yeah, the cinematic and some of the stuff coming later was just directed by the people that did the last two Avengers movies. They just brought them in to do that.
Of course.
Yeah, that sounds like what they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? I'm like, sure, I can see now. They're like, of course we want to direct this scene where a Terminator kills Chun-Li or whatever fucking happened in that insane cutscene.
I'm just imagining now Virtual Vendetta recreated in Fortnite.
That'd be really funny.
Directed by the Avengers guy.
Jesus.
It'd be pretty good.
Why is most of this Fortnite map just a park?
New character, Evil Cole McGrath. Sweet garage cosplay, Sweet Tooth.
This would be great. This is the future we were cheated out of.
It's already bad you get those stupid custom emotes, so I saw the fucking Mandalorian playing a ukulele in the back of a pickup truck, so this game's fucked up.
I don't know. Sounds incredible.
Yeah. Let's see. I played some of the Doom Eternal DLC today, because that's out. I was looking forward to seeing what new things they were going to add to make the experience better. Oh, man.
I feel really cheated that they did not announce this with any amount of heads up.
Yeah, they just said, "Yo, out tomorrow," and then I jumped in, and they're like, last time they had great new enemies like a little eyeball turret that pops up if you get too close, it hides, or the spirit ghost that made me want to die because it would possess enemies and make them immune to freezing, and are super buffed up. And I'm like, what could they possibly add now? They have a zombie that when you shoot it, it screams, dies, and buffs everyone that heard the scream.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes. So you'll want to like kill them last or pay attention to where they are. They got a dude who, if they hit you, curses you, which means your dashes don't work anymore, and you have to blood punch him.
That's always the roughest.
Yeah, I think that might be the roughest enemy in the entire game now.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I have to stop what I'm doing just for that guy. There's the Barons, the really big red guys.
Yeah.
They're like, what will we do to them? Well, they have a variant with power armor now, where they're just completely decked out in it with a giant Morning Star fist.
Oh, they're new cyber demons.
Yeah. So they'll shoot they'll keep attacking you. You have to use your little plasma energy gun to overheat and destroy their armor so you can damage them, and after about 7 or 8 seconds they start re-summoning their armor back on.
Can you knock it off with the blood punch like the
they have
Incubus?
a thing where it uses its morning, so it's like a mace, and it'll flash green, and if you shoot it when it matches green, the entire armor explodes.
Oh, that's cool.
In one hit. And I'm like, that's really good. They have a new version of imps, rock imps. The main way you hit them is with your new hammer weapon or the shotgun mod no one uses, which is the full auto one instead of the one that shoots grenades out. They're Sonic the Hedgehog. They do homing attacks where they glow yellow and just roll at you in the air. So you have to like keep them in place by blasting them like that. But I think that's most of the new enemies. They introduced the hammer, which is great.
Ooh, yeah.
It might be the best inclusion in the entire game. Unlike the sword, you're going to use it pretty regularly because you get a charge for it to use it after you do two things to fill it up. So either 2 glory kills or 1 glory kill and 1 breaking a weak point. So you get it really often. You use it, it stuns everything in the area. And then you can just like hit them. Or if you freeze things and then use it, you get a shit ton of health and resources. Or if you set them on fire, you get armor and resources. So there are times where you just set up the area so you can get that and really just get in. It's nice to have another way to do that. Also, if you're fighting a Marauder and you shoot him as he flashes and then hit the hammer, you can stun him. You can like extend the stun. So they show an example video of super shotgun, hammer, and then just quick swapping, and he dies in one. He just dies in one stun state now if you do that. And they added like new animations when an enemy is stunned now to give you a better idea of like, yeah, you nailed it. And the hammer has other effects, like it breaks the Doom Hunter's armor in one go and stuff like that. So it's really useful. You get it pretty regularly. They have new gore nest things in this. Usually they were like challenges in the original version of the game. Now they're called like escalation battles, where it's 2 fights. One of them upgrades your hammer a little bit. And the other one's a cosmetic, but they warn you that it's too hard, which meant I had to do them every time. And I've done 2 of them so far. They're off the goop with this. I feel like this might be worse than a Slayer Gate, where the first one ends with 3 Doom Hunters and I think 2 Cyber Demons at the same time. Like that's the last part of the 8-minute long wave. And they're just like, fuck it, you figure it out. And I'm like, I'm playing Unhurt Me Plenty. I can't do ultra violence on this anymore. It's too much. It's just way. It's insane. But yeah, you're still focusing on like using some of the mods you didn't do in the main game. They're trying to get you to mix up with the different stuff. I think this is the better of the 2 DLCs from what I played so far, because just the environments are much more unique compared to the original game and stuff. Where it's the first map is just green with bright blue skies, and just you going into some cool temple areas and stuff like that. Just it feels a lot more distinct. I think it's like 3 levels, just like last time. So I hit the 3rd one before we met today, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that all includes. But yeah, it's great. Only low point is the music, because they don't have Mick Gordon doing it, so I can't really say I remember any music I've heard so far.
Yeah,
which is a bit unfortunate. Yeah, but aside from that, it's been great. Doom Eternal's still amazing. They fixed some things though, like the crosshair has all your powers on it, like the flame belch and the punch, to let you know you have them, because I guess they wanted as many visual indicators now to remind people of their mechanics, because people, I guess, just forget. It's like I don't know what to do. That and the game's so fast at this point, you probably need that.
Yeah, I know it would help to have that just in the center of my vision, instead of looking around the screen for it, seeing if it's charged up yet.
Yeah. So now you'll just have a crosshair, and then on the left side you just see a punch with a dot, 1 or 2 dots depending on how many you have, and the other things. So you'll always like, no, I can just hit that button and just go. Yeah, that's it though. I haven't finished it yet, but it seems better than the first one. Just in terms of the locations and the general flow of the levels have been pretty good. And it just feels really high budget too. Like, this could have been a part of a sequel to that game in terms of like all the cool shit that's happening in the places that you're going to. But yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna check out that Doom Eternal DLC once I find some free time.
Yeah,
they really jumped me with that shit.
Yeah, like I thought there'd be time
No.
to play the first
Like,
one.
no, now death.
Also, I'm still waiting for the PS5 upgrade. They said they were working on one. Hopefully
Yeah.
that still happens.
Yeah, they said they were doing it later in the year. Their focus was just getting this out. They added a new skin that's just a barbarian outfit.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Have they added just it's Doom guy in a thong yet?
Hold on, let me give you the barbarian outfit. Let me pull this up.
Oh no.
I was like, I need to.
Oh, no,
it's
no.
just the Kino Fabino edit. That is pretty Conan the Barbarian.
Yes.
That's yeah. I expect to see its cheeks, within the next 4 days. Probably by the time you hear this podcast.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if that hasn't happened, I'll be surprised. Well then. Hey Phil, what have you been playing?
Oh no.
I finished Doom 2. That's pretty cool. Except for the level of the chasm, which is a nightmare. And I'm surprised how spiritually the same the icon of sin is in Doom Eternal and Doom 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
I respect them, even if I'm not a big fan of it in either game. So has anyone clipped into the head of the icon of sin in Doom Eternal and checked to see if Hugo Martin's head is in there?
I haven't heard anything about it if they have.
Somebody check that, please.
Please.
This is almost as bad as Die posting a picture from Quake 2 of the room that just has John Carmack's head in it, which turns out he was tricked. That's just something Civi modded into the game for his video.
Yeah, I know. I was like, why is Die posting this on Twitter as though it's real? It was a bit in a video.
Yeah, then Die DMs me like a couple days later in the morning like, I was bamboozled.
Jesus Christ.
After Doom 2, I tried to play Heretic. Heretic sucks.
Does it suck as much as Hexen 2?
I've never played Hexen 2. That'll happen later.
Good.
But
I just-
catalog. When are you playing Tech War?
Never.
Smart.
Is
But I'm like,
Hexen
well,
1 supposed to be the good one? Is that how this works? Or is there no good one?
I'm
of the
starting to
series?
think there might be no good one.
I'll report, but it would be fine. But everything takes has 3 times as much health as it should. Like like Heretic's equivalent of an imp in Doom takes 5 shotgun blasts, maybe more. Might be
Yeah.
closer to 7 or 8.
I remember back in the
like-
day doing cheat codes to get infinite ammo because this things wouldn't die.
It's like, damn, you have too much health. I appreciate that none of these things hit scan, but I don't want to. I just don't want to stand here pumping shotgun shells, or in this case, crossbow bolts into this minor enemy. That's really bad. So instead, now I'm playing Duke Nukem 3D.
Good.
I'm not very far in that, but it's pretty fun. Also, I beat Control. I haven't played either of the DLCs yet, but I beat the main game. I'm really happy that right about the moment I was starting to get disappointed, the game's like, here's a really incredibly cool segment, and now the entire rest of the game is like this.
Nice.
And I'm like, wow, that was a really good save.
Yeah, it really does end on a strong note.
I'm excited for the DLCs, especially the Alan Wake one. I hope they never try to make a Metroidvania again. Because I really don't I didn't do any of the side quests. They didn't even set off a neuron in my brain. And it's like, I don't see how this is even really a Metroidvania, except there's optional doors with numbers next to them to indicate how far you need to have progressed into the plot to open this door. And the door, they might as well have a wolf on them. And then she turns into a werewolf and rips it open. Also, her hover animation, incredibly funny.
Yeah.
I don't know why, it just kills me. Where she's just like, ooh, I'm floating. They very obviously put me on a harness and lifted me up and had me wiggle to mocap it.
Yeah, it's really funny.
That seems ideal.
Yep.
I'm not super in love with any of the forms of the gun, but I can vibe with the Pierce, which is what I used for pretty much most of the game after I got it. Or it's like, this feels like a Magnum, and it has a Mega Man X charge shot, so I'm just going to use this for the entire rest of the game. But yeah, it was really good. Well, it was pretty good. That ending segment was great. It also tied into Alan Wake. You can play this game without playing Alan Wake. It will not spoil anything about Alan Wake for you. So if
Okay.
anybody wasn't sure,
Like me. Hello. I've been delaying playing that game because I was like, I know I'm going to death stream Alan Wake soon. That will be happening this year. And I swear
will
I'm going
not
to feel
spoil.
like a jackass.
It will
if
not
it's spoiled.
it will not spoil Alan Wake. I'm sure the Alan Wake DLC will spoil the shit out of Alan Wake. But
Oh, yeah.
this does not.
That's cool.
I can't fucking avoid it anymore. I might as well talk about it.
Do it.
No. We
I've
can just
I've
go.
been playing
Podlord, how we
Sonic.
doing?
I've been playing Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. Because I didn't know anything about that game. I had to know that is Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood is unquestionably the worst Sonic game.
Yeah, its competition is currently Sonic's Labyrinth, Tails Sky Patrol, and there's got to be another one.
But not only is it unquestionably the worst Sonic game, and I tried to think up a statement which I think is true with no hyperbole, so here it is. Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood is the worst RPG released at retail in the United States ever.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, you do cut out all that Steam trash that gets
That cuts out the Scheme Treasure. It cuts out weird Japanese only Famicom stuff.
Man.
And this is the game that convinced me. BioWare doesn't know how to make RPGs in a mechanical sense.
That doesn't surprise me.
Dan,
Which makes sense because they never really did it again after Dragon Age Origins. They way de-emphasized it and made it more it's now just an MMO and not a system.
I still have 2 RPGs I want to ask about.
Okay.
Lunar DS.
Huh.
Lunar Dragon song?
Yes.
And that is a fantastic. Hey, just hit this button on the touchscreen. You no longer gain experience, you gain money.
I have to imagine that's better.
And Lufia 2 DS. Is that
I've
even
heard
an
that that's-
RPG anymore?
I've heard that that's broken,
It is broken.
and just falls apart.
Yeah, I literally stopped playing it when the whole game locked up, and I went, you were hard to tolerate before this moment, and now I will tolerate you no longer.
No, you know what? That has to be better.
It is, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. I stopped playing that game. That game's vastly better than Sonic Chronicles. Let me explain, audience. Sonic fan, Mega Man fan. I was pissed over the quality, the lack of budget, and command mission. Dark Chronicles, Sonic Chronicles is such an unbelievably bad game. It seems like it slipped from an evil universe. It shouldn't be on the DS. It should be on weird phones that were like Nokia, right?
It should be on the N-Gage.
It's worse than that even. It goes beyond that. It feels like it should be on prepaid phone plans in 2006. It's right there next to that broken version of Mega Man 3.
In that awful God of War game.
And that awful... Well, actually, that was one of the better games I've ever played on those fucking Java phone games. But yeah, it's unreal. I'm seething over how bad that game is. Just
let me tell the audience just a smattering of thing. And KZ, because I can't imagine he looked at that game for more than 30 seconds.
Yeah, it was rough. I brought my audience there and just bounced immediately. Like, no.
First of all, like I don't. The music is legendary, but it's not just the music. It's every single sound choice in the entire game. Like when you first meet Shadow and he like jumps down to confront you, he makes a sound like a Doom 2 imp, where he just goes like, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? When you have to jump onto something in like the overworld, it plays a really low quality, bad sounding version of the Sonic jump sound from the Genesis games. And when you jump in battle, and I'll talk about why you would have to jump in battle in a second, but it plays a worse, slowed down, distorted version that just sounds wrong. But the sound design is horrible. It's what they obviously based it mechanically on like the tabletop type systems they were familiar with, but didn't take into account that those in those like a round takes 6 seconds, and in this game it takes closer to 30 or 40 or a minute. So 70% of your regular attacks will just miss by design. The enemies also miss a lot, but not as much as you do. So if you actually want to do damage, you have to use the special moves, which all involve a touchpad QTE, a touchscreen QTE. And most of them are too long. Like Sonic's most basic move is you have to do a short Owinden type segment where you tap the thing as the closing ring overlaps, and then you have to do like hold the stylus in this section and trace across a line, like as the box moves across the line every time. And sometimes you have to do that to negate enemy attacks, and if you don't, they're an instant kill. Okay. Also, your stats are lies. Attack is accuracy and defense is evasion. You have actual attack and defense stats, but they're hidden from you and you don't get to see them. They're called you can get items that boost them, but it doesn't tell you by how much amount. It'll say this moderately increases armor, which lets you know that it will reduce damage you take, or this will moderately increase damage, but you don't know how much that is. KZ, remember when you played Trails of Cold Steel 2 and you said something to the effect of whoever decided bosses should heal themselves should be locked in a house that I then burned down?
Yes.
Every single enemy in this game does that. The enemies that don't do that can revive themselves from the dead every turn.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
So imagine you have 4 enemies. All of them will revive themselves from the dead with 25% damage at the end of a round, with 25% health at the start of a new round. So you have to kill them all, and you have to make sure they're all dead at once.
Do you get extra experience points each time you kill them, or is it one of those?
Nope.
Of course not.
Enemies don't give you enemies don't have experience values in this game.
What?
The way it seems to work is if you're in an area, you get X amount experience from every fight. And if you level up, you'll get less, because you can fight an encounter with 2 enemies and get 50 experience, then fight an encounter with those same 2 enemies and 2 additional enemies and get 50 experience.
This is incredibly amateurish. It sounds like they never played an RPG.
Oh yes, that's that. it comes off like they were so arrogant. They were like, we can make this game without looking at a single example in the genre, which feels reinforced by the fact that the story is almost wholly inspired by Sat-Am and the comics. Like the SWAT bots, Robotnik's minions from the Sat-Am cartoon are just in this game as enemies. This is Ken Penders tried to sue Sega over this, and after playing this game, I think he had a case.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like I'm gonna like let me get some. I'll keep talking while I get some images. A really creepy and insane thing. They didn't change the models when a character gets knocked out, so they just T-pose on the ground with their eyes wide open. God, there's so much. I'm 60% through the game and the plot only just started. The first two full chapters are filler and in the exact same way, where it's like comb the map for these plot coupons, and when you get 4, you can progress. And then they do that twice in a row over the same maps. They're not even different maps, except the second time. You won't know if it's there because you've explored the whole map, so obviously you know where everything would be. Except this time you have to like get close enough to it for a thing to ping, and then you can actually get it. Like your radar has to go off. It's really dire. The game uses 3D models on top of drawn backgrounds, and it looks like shit, and you cannot tell like depth at all.
Yeah, because it's like classic Resident Evil, but it's a whole overworld map you're running your characters around. So there's fake 3D on this shit tier JPEG. It's unreal how bad it is.
You can't tell where you're going to go ever because you have to use teammates, your party members, like abilities. Like Tails can fly, Knuckles can climb things. More than once, it was like, okay, I'm at the edge of this platform. There is the fly icon for Tails on the right. I click it. Tails goes right a little and then immediately turns south and starts flying south. And I'm like, how the fuck am I ever supposed to figure out where I'm how you want me to get to an area in this? It's so bad. Everything about this game is fucking bad.
Yeah, it's just very deeply upsetting that this thing shipped. Sega should have fucking canceled it. This is unreal levels of trash. This is unprofessional. I would be shocked if this was made by more than 12 people.
I'll tell you once I see the credits segment.
Yes, that's what I'm interested in.
The heavy crux of this plot is a group of echidnas called the Nocturnus clan, who are separate from the people who all got wiped out by Perfect Chaos. In the Sonic comic, there's a group called the Dark Legion, who is also a group of evil echidnas, and both were locked away in the Twilight Cage. The echidnas, I think they called it the Twilight Zone, but they changed it to Twilight Cage later. So it really just comes off as exactly the same. Weird. Also, they both have a pink echidna that like Knuckles seems to have some sort of like infatuation with. Like here's the one in Sonic Chronicles, and then here's Penders' one.
Well, I've seen Penders' one from his awesome sci-fi shit that I keep seeing images from.
Why is it just Amy is an echidna?
Because shut up. Shut up.
Why are you asking questions?
By the way, this game has dialogue options, and they apparently like you have party reputation. Where you can have Sonic by clicking the dialogue choice that has a really horrible looking sprite of Sonic winking, where Sonic is an asshole.
What?
Like that's for the asshole dialogue options. It's just like a hyper crunched sprite of him winking.
Yeah,
should have been like a clown nose.
I wish I could.
Dark Chronicles Rogue Run. Jeez.
Here you can see it in this screenshot. Every single art asset in this game looks bad. The models look bad. Every piece of art looks like they just traced something from Sonic.
It looks like he's not winking. It looks like he has his eye jabbed out.
Yeah, I know. He looks like he's in pain.
He's like, why am I such an asshole? Ugh.
Luckily things have gone a lot more smoothly since I got Cream, the optional party member that is absolutely vital for beating this game. Because she has a move that restores all your party's MP, including her own. So you just have her use that every single turn.
Yeah,
and then you can just dump on every encounter with your strongest attacks.
Yeah, I've just been watching it, right? I've been watching your streams, and the fact that you have to rely on that even further pisses me off. You know what also pisses me off? Me watching your stream led to me having to explain any aspect of this game to Tosh. She's like, why does it look like that? And I have to go, yeah, this is BioWare.
People seem to be very confused about that, by the way. No less than 50 times in me streaming this game, someone went, wait, this was made by BioWare?
I mean,
I had to go, yes, I wouldn't be playing it if it wasn't.
Here are the other layers of revelations I had to bestow, okay? None of which I'm thrilled about. Yes, this is a real game. Yes, this was not a flash game on a random website. Yes, this was a $35 or $40 DS game.
Yes, this game has a Metacritic of 74,
which is unreal levels of high for what it is.
There's something I want you to confirm for me, Phil. You posted You posted earlier on Twitter at some point a picture of a bunch of echidnas. One of them was called Steppenwolf. Is that real?
Yeah, that's like all of the echidnas on Knuckles' side of the family and like the Kinpinders lore.
God.
Is Zack Snyder's Justice League available now on HBO Max?
I'd also like to point out that when they had to get rid of those characters because Sega went, stop arguing with Kinpinders. His contract burned up in a fire. Just make him go away. When they had to write all these characters out, they just had a character that was a Tasmanian devil literally pick all of them up and put them in a portal ring that sent them to another dimension they could never come back from.
I'm thinking about a multi-million-dollar company going, stop fucking arguing with Ken Penders.
Yep, Sega enters the chat to say, hey, stop arguing.
It's like Sony's like, stop talking to Linus Tech Tips.
They're hard to find now, but if you want to see something really funny, go find like issue 160-ish of the Sonic comic and start there and see how every single issue a character created by Kinpinders dies. Because it's like he's causing trouble. We have to clear his characters out of this comic, and it's like it's like a death march for a year. By the way, here's the guy that pushed all the echidnas somewhere else. He's thrashed the Tasmanian devil.
Holy shit! Look at this dude.
Looks raw.
God,
he's like Knuckles' rival because Knuckles was in a full-on relationship with that character I linked earlier.
A Joker color scheme,
and she got shoved into another dimension.
This dude is what happens if you cross an echidna or a wolf type Sonic furry with Vector. He is Vector shaped.
Yes. Yeah. 6'4", by the way.
He's the Ben Swallow of Sonic. Is there anything else I need to mention about this fucking game? There's a lot of human NPCs and they all look unbelievably hideous. Also, BioWare's unbelievably terrible writing is it at a peak here, and people keep trying to defend it and like, oh, that was funny, and like, no, it fucking wasn't. Oh, what the fuck is wrong with you?
In my head, this man sounds like Kylo Ren now.
But it's like, Sonic. First of all, most of your experience is supposed to come from side quests, not from fighting. Which a good thing. It's impossible to avoid combat because you have to control the whole game with a stylus, including moving in the overworld. I have to talk about the fleeing mechanic. Okay, when you run away from a fight, all the characters will go, okay, we're running, and they'll be running like in like a line on the right side of the screen, and you have to tap them so they jump over boxes, but don't jump over like boost pads. And if you hit too many boxes and miss too many boost pads, the enemies catch up to you, and you still have to continue fighting them. Now, that's whatever. That's a bad minigame to run away. A lot of games have bad minigames to run away. Sometimes the enemies will just decide they're running, and you have to do it to catch them, or they escape. And first of all, why would I ever want to catch them? Fine, save me some fucking time. 2, they can start, you can run into them on the field and then they immediately do that. And it has nothing to do with your level. Also, there's a chow are your accessories in this game. You find chow eggs and they hatch. And there's a set number of them in the game, like 65 or 70 and 40 chow. And there's no guarantee you'll ever get all the chow. You might just get multiple duplicates of a low rarity one. But anyway, I put a chow on Shadow to make it easier for my party to ambush, to go first and get a free turn. They made it wrong, so it actually makes the enemy always ambush you.
Whoa.
Yeah, there was a section of me playing the game. I'm like, I'm getting ambushed every single fucking fight. What is going on? Did they make this accessory wrong? If I take it off, will they stop ambushing me? Yes. Anyway, I'll just describe this one side quest that is really the bar for all the side quests, and then we can stop talking about Sonic Chronicles Dark Brotherhood. You talk to a guy. He says, Sonic, my son Timmy has fallen down a well. Go help him.
It's a Lassie reference.
You go to the fucking well. You get in the well. There's a guy in the well working and fixing a leak in the well's wall. And he says, oh, my dad's senile and thinks I'm still 6 years old. I guess we'll go home. I guess I was done anyway. I'll go home now. And it's played like as a comedic thing.
Because you think he's a child, because Timmy fell down the well. Oh, it's a full-grown man. Oh, his dad's senile. Oh, well, let's take him back to his dad now.
Also, every single piece of... Also, money in the game is rings, but you only get rings from collecting them on the map, which means there's a set amount of money in the game.
Yeah, that's infuriating.
Whoa.
Because it never respawns.
That's insane.
Yeah, it never respawns.
That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not nearly enough for if you actually want to buy things.
And Bob, I watched this shit. No one paid me. Why was I watching this stream?
I don't know.
Because you had to know, Dan, just like the same reason I was playing it, because you had to know.
It's such a fucking nightmare.
But it's fine. I'm 60% of the way through the game, and the plot started. We're in the other dimension where the evil echidnas live. By the way, fuck BioWare. Like they have no capacity whatsoever to fucking goddamn them. I fucking hate them so much. It's like these shitty original characters. You can't have Knuckles be cucking out and be like, Sonic, we can't beat these 4 generic enemies. We're gonna get killed. And have him like panning and hunched over, wheezing from fighting 3 guys. You please don't do that to a character you're given creative control on to make an entry in a fucking long-running franchise. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I have no idea what's with people who make that decision.
They can't write.
It's like these guys aren't coming off as tough. You're just making this character I should like bad. You have to sell your antagonist at all. It's especially ridiculous because every boss fight is easier than every regular encounter. Because bosses don't have a move that can just instantly kill one of your party members that you can't do anything about unless you complete an entire Owinden song perfectly. Okay, I'm done.
You okay?
Yes, let's talk about the pod. No, I'm not okay, and I won't be until I'm done with it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna give you a little rub.
But that'll hopefully be soon. Hopefully by the time you hear this, it'll be over.
Hey, KZ.
Hey.
The Podlords.
Oh, fuck.
Whoa.
Yes, that's right. The Podlords. Podlords such as Lee Broyle.
Yeah. Nice.
Corey Brown. Terrible Fortnite mess.
Peely, no.
Red Blaze 27. And viewers like you. Thank you. Suzu Shiro. Emperor Zero. The longer the icon of Shibi Weeby remains, the stronger she becomes. Oh, whoa.
Oh, whoa.
Akichi, Persona 5 did nothing wrong, especially after... Patreon seizes and I can't read the rest of this fucking name. Especially after redacted ding Rokum redacted after intolerable awful boss fight in Royal.
That last part's true. It's very intolerable.
I'm excited whenever I finally play that.
They're like, what if we made this boss like really fucking bad, where it's easy on the hardest difficulty?
You made that wrong.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present Mr. Gary Busey. That's it. There's no image.
Okay.
Oh, okay. He's in our hearts.
Holy shit.
101 Shades of Wonderful Remastered. Busey Kitten. WTF Spider-Man. Mr. I Like Spam. W. I forgot about changing my Podlord name until the last second. So here's Mothman from Shin Megami Tensei 4.
Yeah. Look
Based.
at him. My favorite. He's my favorite in that game. You negotiate with him. He's like, who's your favorite demon? Mothman, Mothman, or Mothman are your choices. And two of those answers are wrong.
I fucking love shit.
DFW3K. Muckbun. Shiny Mew. Santi Kunai. Kristen C. My new Sonic OC. Tonic the Berry Hawk.
Oh, that's really good. Gotta go doink.
Gotta go doink, 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 doink. Devil Summoner Raido Kusunoha versus Digital Devil Saga. Switch Edition. New Super. Trying to change your name for the Podlord segment on mobile is terrible, horrid pain. Eat your veggies and stay safe. Adam. Kyle Bjork.
Bjork.
Hello. I'm Red Hickman. I wanted to say thank you for your stuff. I brought you a clover. I couldn't find a 4-leaf, but enjoy.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Dobo Red Pikmin.
This is the only Pikmin I will accept.
Lock the Chest is moving house, so no bit this week. AG's Bird Fact Time. Falco Lombardi is named after a falcon. Falco Lombardi, named after a falcon, is actually a Taiwanese Mikado pheasant. Oh shit. Mikado.
No.
Zilter. The COVID vaccine is easier to get than a PS5. I don't know. Here in Florida, I could have gotten a PS5 5 times this month.
Well, you only need one of them to live.
When you expecting to have a perfectly normal Thursday? Podlords, I will read it verbatim. See, it's Dante waking up to the Killzone Shadowfall spoiler cast.
Oh, I was like, what is that?
I know. The image is so cropped. The image is cropped.
I was trying to have some kind of, I was like trying to, is this somehow a Magic School Bus reference?
We're sitting here doing Dante pose, going, what is this? As Dante's going, what is this, to our own podcast?
Gotta go.
Wake up, crew, because you're listening to the Podlords.
True, technically.
Yeah, right now you are.
Blig da blue, schlig da boo. Kingdom Hearts streamer KZ Excellent versus Analog Gaming Show BioWare Edition. I don't.
Hello.
Yep,
Cheese to meet you.
that's him.
Yep. Breed time.
I probably
Easy's Provolone.
I probably cannot finish Bravely Default 2 in time for Monster Hunter. Oh well, I tried.
An attempt was made.
Why Galaxy Eyes and Cyber Dragons deserve less rights. Correction, fewer rights. Once you change that, everything's fine with what you said.
I've seen some photon shits, some Galaxy Eye shit. So yes, they do. Send them to hell.
Betsy, Jordan, Cooper Tank, do it. Press Sparp.
Yes!
Do it. That is the best and worst. Lamu.
Lamu.
I'm not going to say these two names back to back, so if you want to fucking see the Podlord image, go to the fucking video. I'm not putting a curse on this podcast. Moving on. Bird here. I came to the Tekken 7 Cube stage to stand Apple Gothic, but now I'm stuck and I don't think I'm alone. It is still the Bird and it's freaking out in the Mighty Number 9 room, but apparently that's the Tekken 7 stage, not the Mighty Number 9 Cube thing at the end. Or maybe it is the Mighty Number 9 Cube thing. Whatever. See prior podcast for details.
Learn the lore.
Me during Armchair Devs Gex. Resident Evil 4. Capcom, if you want a sponsored spot, talk to me. We can do this. Whoa, a terrible announcer be upon ye. Hey, Bob, how you like them trailers?
The announcer's really bad, yeah.
Shatter all expectations.
Indigo Sykes. Swag Marth. I don't know. I'm going to struggle to say this one. It's going to be hard. Especially if Patreon keeps fucking me. The Musicinator. Anyone?
That's the Zekinator from Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
So it's the Musicinator.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I see.
Okay.
Naruhodo. And unironic Andy Bogard stan. Thank you very much to our pod lord.
Thank you, Podlord.
Thank you, Podlords. Fuck you, Patreon.
Thank you, Podlord.
Thank you.
Somebody needs to stand up for Andy Bogart, I guess.
Convictions.
And if you'd like to become a Podlord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get many benefits such as early access to Chugging Bleach and Mondo Cool, our 2 anime review podcasts, Cursed Content Club commentary tracks where you get to hear us watch bad movies, Cursed Content by Committee, that's our Patreon exclusive Cursed Content show that also has a commentary track, and Extended Armchair Dev Pitches where you get to hear us be less evil as backstory for when we became more evil. Sometimes we'll talk about a dead relative that inspired us to become evil. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast.
It's like the anime flashback you get at the end of an episode.
I tripped and fell on a marshmallow and it made me evil. And then I said I will become the Joker.
That's fair. We had some news this week. Forspoken is real. God.
It's called Forgoner. We'll talk about it later.
I can't fucking deal with that. It's real. It happened.
Did you see the video?
No.
Okay, we'll talk about it later, but there's a funny part I thought was funny with it.
Actually, wait, I did see the video. I guess we'll talk about it later. Apparently, we need to talk about that later. We can't talk about that now.
Yeah, I don't know why we can't just open it.
Yeah, that seems like an opening. I did.
It's a part of the Square Enix Presents Roundup, so we have so many other things to talk about here.
Well, I mean, the rest of that can be basically blacklisted and not talked about.
Oh, okay. So they ended with a Life is Strange thing, but then they're like, we got some from Luminous Productions coming in. And I was like, oh, they're smart enough to know that there should be a cool closer. And they showed it off and introduced the actress that is the main character for Project Athia. Showed a small scene. This game's an isekai. And then they did a 20-second long thing of branches and gold stuff. And all the animation did was create the logo for Forspoken, this game's new name, and I screamed.
Yeah, I imagine most people were floored. I got tweets immediately from people going, how dare you?
Athia is such a better name.
Forspoken is basically one of the worst names you can come up with.
Yeah, it is. And we made it worse with Awoken, Bespoken.
Forgoner.
Yeah, this is on level with Forgoner, if you ask me.
Yeah.
The people noticed on the PlayStation upload, they had a different name for this game on there for the new trailer.
What?
Yeah, it was called in all caps Witch, which was the original title for the Square Enix tech demo for that one thing. Fucking that one tech demo that they did.
Oh, with the
Agni?
Red.
Yeah.
Yeah, Agni's Philosophy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, apparently this is totally them iterating on that because it had the same title as that originally, apparently. So that's neat. They showed traversal stuff in it and like some basic combat stuff. I'm down. They dated it for next year.
Should we know this actress? I didn't recognize her, but I don't exactly keep up with this.
I don't think she's anyone famous, is she?
I think she was. I would need to I need to look it up to give you a better answer on that. I knew who the actress was because I was listening to Imran Khan talk and mention that. I was like, okay, that's common knowledge. Today he went, so about 5 months ago, I accidentally leaked out who's in this game before they announced it, but no one checked me on it.
Oh my god.
Are you serious? What?
Yeah, which I think is hilarious.
I guess
Where I'm
because
like,
they
oh,
showed
okay.
the character's face, so we assumed they announced who it was.
Yes. Yeah, they showed a small shot. I just think that's really fun.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
And then other insiders going yeah, I've accidentally called this thing Forspoken a couple of months ago.
Jesus.
So it's,
What a fantastic name.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
There was a 2019 Charlie's Angels.
Yes, that's what she's from.
Oh.
Weird.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, me neither until you said it just now, and even then
Yeah,
I was like, he can't be right.
I think it had Bella from Twilight in it as well.
Mm.
Yeah, if I recall, it was something that movie bombed, and then they said it was because people hate women. I believe that's what the news cycle for that movie
They
was.
couldn't
Well,
have made a bad movie.
No,
That's
that's
the news cycle. Anytime any movie with a leading woman fails, that's just the go-to. You
Yeah,
can't make a bad movie.
Yeah, every place that talked about that, because I follow enough people who review movies, went, yeah, this is just a worse version of the ones they made 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's about what I expect. Charlie's Angels didn't fail. We failed Charlie's Angels.
I gotta go.
Good Lord.
They also confirmed we're getting one of these in summer, one of these Square Enix Presents things. So I guess that's around E3 time. Presentation wise, this was fine. This is one of the better ones. In terms of jumping to each thing. I didn't care about more than half of it, but can't avoid that.
Yeah,
when they're it's the Western show.
I watched this thing hit it with my finger firmly on the L button, just smashing it to skip
forward in the video. Yeah.
Yes. It's like, this.
Bob's like, I'm gonna type an L into chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that's
what
also my interpretation. I was like, okay, Bob is like, okay, I'm ready to give this the death sentence.
It's his death note. His L key on his keyboard.
All right, I'll burn through it fast then. Outriders showed a gameplay deep dive after doing a trailer. It was 10 minutes long. Showed off the stuff. I don't know. That looks okay.
Also, it's day one Game Pass. Let's kill that right
yes.
now.
That everything they went over, I believe, is what I still talked about in the demo because that's all it was. Literally, the plot synopsis was what I played in the demo.
Cool.
Also, the trailer kept saying things like, "We're the Outriders." There are not Outriders. You're the last Outrider.
Thank you, Bob. Jesus.
It was really upsetting to me. I was like, they wrote this as a multiplayer game, but did not write this as a multiplayer game.
Look, they also wanted everyone to die.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They also don't want their game to die, so that's why that's going to be on Game Pass day one. They're like, please. And I'm like, good, that's smart.
We'll see if that actually has an effect. I hope it does for their sake.
I mean, at very least, they get a paycheck, right?
Hopefully.
So there you go.
Some money's better than none.
Yeah, so that's something. Basically, all the feedback I've been seeing from people on the demo is so rough that they announced they were on Game Pass, and I'm like, okay, good, they got any money out of this.
Right.
That's good.
Square's like, please, we don't need this to happen to us again.
We're shipping Balan at the same time, for the love of God.
We just shipped Avengers.
God,
they need to stop.
We're closing in.
How is this a year straight of this? Holy shit.
Dan?
Yeah.
They're 25th anniversary of Tomb Raider. We have some big things in the works. We're making a cookbook.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, they're making a travel and cookbook, guidebook, so you can make all the dishes that Reboot Lore would make on our adventures.
I'm going to go ahead and say this is absolutely the same fucking writer as the Overwatch cookbook. This dude's just making his way around or lady is making their way around the industry, just, making a living off of weird pitches for cookbooks.
This seems insane for this game, because usually she's
living insane for Overwatch. This is more insane than that.
Overwatch has one?
Yeah.
God. I think that those have interesting universes.
Did you think Dan was making some shit up? Like,
I knew about the
Overwatch
Destiny
cookbook.
I knew about Destiny. I didn't know about Overwatch.
Overwatch, the official cookbook.
But I think those have interesting universes that can be kind of fun to do something with. Isn't most of what Reboot Tomb Raider eats made in the jungle and barely what she can find?
And rebar.
I don't think they really pay a whole lot of attention to what she eats. Like, you can shoot deer in the first one, but
It's more like you went to this location, so here's some random dishes.
Oh my god.
Bob,
Okay.
Bob, what was your cookbook? The one you mentioned?
Destiny.
Okay, one moment. I'm checking the writer on all of these.
Yeah, what's gonna be in the Laura Croft crock pot?
The Laura Croft
a
pot.
grenade. A grenade. She opens it and explodes in her face, and she screams.
Cool.
The other two things featured for this grand celebration, right? A bundle for the reboot trilogy called the Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy.
Well, yeah, she's definitely. If there's one thing you can say about reboot Laura, it's she's a survivor.
I want to give Shadow a chance because I played Rise a little bit and kind of hated it and just dropped it.
All three of these books have different writers.
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
Jesus!
How does this happen? How did this many people
have a
come to
passion
different?
for food and video games.
Maybe you'll get further into Shadow than I got, which was 2.5 hours, and I'm like, no, I can't be doing this.
I thought for sure we would.
It's like I got shot back in time to 2012.
Oh my god! But yeah, I thought for sure we'd see more about the mobile game because they announced that like a year ago, I think, and then just haven't said anything.
Nope. They
No.
did. They did announce they're like, not only do we have those skins and stuff coming to Fortnite, the Lara Croft mansion will be playable in Fortnite in the creative mode. You can go in there and explore and do stuff.
Okay, that's neat at least.
Yeah.
Will it have the training robot from the movie? Where she has like a giant training robot.
I still haven't seen that movie. That sounds amazing.
I heard they're making a second one of the reboot movie, like the new Lara Croft movie, that because that one came out.
Yeah, I was really surprised that they announced that.
It did less horribly than it could have.
Yeah, I thought that thing bombed it insanely, but I guess not.
It kind of just quietly existed and did well enough for where they're like, all right, we can do another one.
Maybe they're a little bit lukewarm on it now, considering theaters no longer exist. But
I don't know. Who knows? Please look forward to that Uncharted movie where Tom Holland was told to be stoic, just like Nathan Drake.
2 months ago, they replaced the writer and director of the reboot sequel. So we'll see if that ever actually comes out.
Oh, bye. They did a mobile block. I just ignored it. So it's not here.
Okay, that's understandable.
Because it was all their like Western like stuff, like Just Cause Mobile. But they showed Bubble Bobble for Friends coming to Steam. I just saw it happening. I thought it was a new thing, but it was not.
No, it came out on everything last year. I have no idea what it looks like or how it plays.
It looks visually like not ideal, and it probably plays okay. I still haven't bought it to find out, but I'm going to at some point.
Mm-hmm. I was screaming when we hit the Avengers spot, where I made an assessment to you yesterday night.
Yeah, foolish one.
There's no way that they will show you nothing new coming to Avengers beyond the Hawkeye Next Gen update. And you were about to be right, and I was about to cry on this fucking podcast. But thankfully, they announced the expansion Black Panther War for Wakanda is coming this year, alongside the next gen update that's out. That
yeah, and it felt like they had 10 minutes of here's random gameplay that looks bad of the current stuff of Hawkeye.
Yeah. It was a few minutes of just like, here's some gameplay of it, get you in. The PS4 to PS5 upgrade shit's always a nightmare. They're like, launch the PS4 version and hit the migrate save button, and then navigate your way to the PS5 version of the game and receive it. And I hate it because every single time I hear about it, someone going, fucking, this is why Sony's losing, Microsoft's the winners. Smart delivery.
It doesn't work on half the games. I'm sure smart delivery is great. I've never used it, but I'm sure it's fantastic.
This is why Microsoft is winning. Man who owns PS5 has no interest in buying a Series X, but wants to win this argument on Twitter.
Yeah, but loves the competition.
Yeah, that's what we have in this marketplace. Real firm competition.
I lost it when they showed this Hawkeye thing where it's like, okay, there's a lot of asset reuse here. They're scrambling a little bit. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You fight fucking Taskmaster in this fucking Hawkeye thing too? Like, even in the ruined future, they still have the same fucking boss fight. So so if he shows up in fucking War for Wakanda, which Wakanda apparently will take place in San Francisco somehow.
What?
No, I'm making up some nightmare situation where they reuse the exact same assets and locations. Where it's like, oh, Wakanda's in San Francisco and you're fighting MODOK again. I don't know why. I thought they said we were fighting Claw. I don't know. This looks exciting. I might actually reinstall Avengers just to play the PS5 update, see how that feels. Play it at a stable frame rate.
Yeah, the load time improvements are fucking insane. Have you guys heard about that?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else hear about it? It's literally 15 times as fast at loading.
Wow.
Yeah, because the loading before was pretty unforgivable.
Yeah, they said it took over a minute to load from the title screen before. Now it's 4 seconds and some change.
Yes, it absolutely was like that.
So that seems like a great way to try it first.
Mm.
I would love it if they gave it away with PlayStation Plus. This is a great game for PlayStation Plus.
I don't want to buy it.
And we're launching it right next to our Spider-Man character.
The 2 games free this month on PlayStation Plus is Balan Wonderworld and
That
Marvel Effects.
6 months. 6 months. I am making a gamer premonition. If it is not a PlayStation Plus game by October,
Which
I'll
one?
be stunned.
Which one? Balan, Marvel,
Balan.
or both?
Balan.
Okay, Balan. Yeah, I'm there with you.
I'm with you.
Balan's dire.
It's time for a Gamer Premonition special. Bob,
What's up?
Balan Wonderworld Metacritic score.
Oh my god. There are gonna be some psychos that drive it up.
Okay.
So I think this is gonna sit at a 68.
Okay, Dan,
I decided my number before he spoke. 65.
feel.
I also decided my number before he spoke. 62.
58.
I have the highest number. All right.
Yeah, but we use Price is Right rules, so if you go over, you lose.
What? No, that's bullshit. That's not how that works. We do actual distance.
It's okay,
yeah,
though.
but-
It's going to get a 72, and we're all going to be sitting there like, why?
We're going to be like, aren't we a bunch of chumps? We didn't realize how much game reviewers love garbage.
What platform will we choose? If we choose Switch, it might hit the 30s.
Not Switch. Let's say the most real platform, PlayStation 4.
Okay.
I think it'd be funniest to use Switch because there's a huge swing on that. That has the Switch fanboys. It'll be like, it's a 10.
Mm-hmm. True. The previews for that, for some Nintendo ones are insane, where they're like, a wonderful, perfect pick for the platform. And then John Linneman's like, yeah, they should cancel this.
See, it could be higher. I don't think it'll be higher than 70 because you will have freaks who give this really high score, but game journalists really love being like, this misfired revival proves this genre was never good. Like, they love doing that.
Yeah,
so we could see it get beaten up.
There's a surprising amount of outlets that are like, yeah, 3D platformers are bad. They were kind of bad then. They shouldn't exist. I got this take from a Giant Bomb stream one time.
Astro's Playroom is my game of the year. 3D platformers should be killed as a genre.
That is kind of how it sounds if you take in broadly comments from critics.
Yeah, that's usually how that goes. They show Balan Wonderworld. It was bad. They did the Lord's work. We saw 2% of gameplay.
Yeah, they really tried not to show gameplay and really tried not to show the character moving. It's like, okay, here's him doing a homing attack with a power. Here's them activating a power, standing in place so you don't see the movement.
Such a bad homing attack.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that just every single thing in that game feels like shit.
Learning that it was Yuji Naka got some inexperienced bad team to do this, and it's not like, oh, he's taking up Square staff. Thank God.
Yeah, I thought they built him a team, but it was Azrest.
Yeah, I thought it was,
which is the company founded by Naoto Oshima, who designed Sonic and Eggman.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I really thought it was just making it's like the Hideo Baba thing where he got his own team at Square internally and then it just all crumbled. But no, it was
This is they brought in some like people who were really obviously not equipped to make this.
Oh, they were equipped to make this. They
Bob,
were
you remember-
perfectly crafted in the fires of hell to make this.
Do you remember the innocent days when they first teased this game and we're like, they're making an entire label for action games over there. Something called the Balan Company. That might be cool.
Right. Yeah, there was hope then.
And then it turns out, 1, it's not an action game. It's a platformer. Number 2, it's the worst thing you've played in a while.
I'm so upset. I'm torn between like, do I want it to just fail and they just take Yuji Naka out back, or do I want it to succeed well enough that it doesn't kill 3D platformers being greenlit for 5 years?
Yeah, it's complicated. I just wish Yuji wouldn't fuck it up for once. That's all
This is
I
the
wish.
biggest fuck up ever. You'd think he'd be getting better, but it's like, no, let's make the worst thing in the world. I hear the Wii version of Rode the Sky Soldier is like an 8 though.
Bob,
Never mind, I look at it and it's like, this might be a 4.
Bob, did we play that? I
don't-
thought we played that, but not in a video.
Yeah, I was like, I think we did. We might have only played the Wii U version though, but I think we played both.
Yeah, there's something
Yeah.
I remember back when that game was newer that's like, don't play the new one, play the old one.
Yeah, don't play the Wii U version. Play the Wii version, which I believe came with the Wii U version.
Yeah, they both came
Yes.
in like a double pack. I remember playing I remember it being bad. I remember it still being bad no matter what version we played.
Yes.
But I don't know.
Like, I looked at it, I didn't seem interested at all. I was like, this is the best they've got, and I still...
Yeah, like even the Wii version looks really cheap and low rent.
All right, we spent too much time on Balan Wonderworld. Do you have anything else, Dan?
I have some news, but it's not related to any of that. Is that all the Square Enix stuff?
Let's see. No, they announced Life is Strange 3. It's called Life is Strange True Colors. It's not episodic. It's coming out September 10th.
Neat.
If you get the ultimate edition of it, you get the Life is Strange remastered collection, but it's still being sold separately this fall. Along with it, that has the original and the prequel game Before the Storm, and they're all upgraded visually and stuff.
Just imagine the character from Life is Strange walking up to a door, then talking about fisherman sees a storm coming. He warns the soldier. The soldier says to him, "I am the storm."
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's how it goes. And then someone says hella cringe and disappears.
Jesus.
so that sounded like it was a really great the Square Enix presents.
If they bring, games we care about, I feel like that would be one of the better like direct things. I think like the presentation style they're going for is like neat.
Yeah.
But if they, threw Japanese games in there.
See, I knew they would do this with Athia. I knew they would sneak one game we actually cared
Yeah.
about at all into the middle of all of this, and I was like, I'm not falling for it, fucker. I'll find out later what you snuck in there.
They snuck a Forspoken in there.
It's really funny.
And then someone had to tell me, so KZ, how's it feel that this game, it's a next-gen game. They announced it 8 months ago. Now we've seen a small gameplay snippet of it, but where's Babylon's Fall?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's rough.
All I saw from Forspoken in that video was her crouched behind like a pillar and seeing a dragon. She's like, oh, there's a dragon. And he's like, yes, it's a dragon. We should go. And that was it. Was there something else they showed that I missed?
Yeah, it was like movement.
Okay.
Yeah, they did the really long logo thing, and then they had her do super dashes across like 4 or 5 different biomes, and then
Cool.
doing like an energy shield block against like a monster, and then slamming the ground and making the roots come out, which they showed before but looks better now.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
along
great.
with coming next year.
That's coming next year. Crazy.
Yeah, God, it's a looker.
Yeah, it is. It helps when you make your game from the ground up for next gen.
This gen can handle that engine.
We've proven that. How many times do you have to be told, Square Enix? Glad they only made one game with that engine this gen. Really glad.
Yeah.
I'll cover my news before we get into the rest of this stuff.
Sure.
Oh, wait, isn't there a Balan thing at the end of your news, Casey? Did you talk about this last bullet?
Oh yeah. So they on the PlayStation blog, I think they had like a little post from the producer of Balan Wonderworld. I will now read what I wrote. Balan Wonderworld producer saw the world beg them to delay the game. He instead tells us to die, and we'll just adjust minor things in a day one patch.
There is nothing minor that can fix that game.
Their main statement was, we got a lot of really valuable feedback. Unfortunately, we are a week and a half out, and we are unable to address everything that came up. However, we will fix things with... Yes, they said instead, we will fix things like movement speed, adjustments to your jump, and more in a day one patch. And I went, this is fucking doomed. Holy shit.
I don't know. It sounds like they're going to make some improvements, and me and Bob should give it a chance.
I sure think you're going to be really excited when they add a 5th jump button.
Now,
touchpad.
Will it just be nothing? Will this change be almost imperceptible to a human being?
Absolutely.
Or will it break all of the level design and they're like, we don't care, save this game?
I love games that do that.
Yeah, just it feels decent now. The levels, there's no challenge at all at this point.
Yeah,
it's like, I needed a power to get over this gap. I jumped twice as high and far as I did in that demo.
Like if someone fixed the fucking dump truck in goddamn Blast Core, the game's 7 minutes long, and I'm like, oh, this is great, 9 out of 10.
I'm the same way. I would give this game props. It's like, you broke it, but it controls better, so sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they can add a jump button for every character instead of only certain powers can jump.
That game would go up 2 points off that alone.
God, what an insane game. We need to move on.
Then it would be a 2. All right, go ahead.
So PlayStation VR 2 controllers were shown off properly. They look really damn good. Covering the feature set, which we talked about on Big Think a while ago, but they're now officially confirmed. The tracking of the hand controllers is done by the headset. There is no optical element of tracking the hands, at least.
Huh.
Yeah, there's no light, there's no nothing. It's literally tracked by the headset. This is great because it means moving the controllers behind you or blocking them somehow will not make it lose tracking, which is the most amateur shit with the last controller, with the last VR headset. Definitely a holdover from the Move days and them not feeling confident enough in VR back then to invest in developing a whole new controller. This thing looks svelte as shit. It looks great. It features finger tracking, meaning you can move your fingers individually while holding the controllers and it will know. Adaptive triggers, so it literally has the L2 and R2 from the DualSense and it can kick back against you pulling it. And haptic feedback, so that way it can give you directional hits in each of your hands.
That sounds really good.
It sounds legitimately next gen as hell. There's no way that this comes out and isn't the most impressive VR package. Very excited for that shit.
But Xbox will have VR.
Apparently, no one wrote this in news, but apparently when you disconnect a certain headset on the Series X, in French, it says something along the lines of, hey, you disconnected your VR headset, plug it back in.
I'm so excited. I bought an Xbox today.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you got that Xbox. When's it showing up?
Or I'm sorry, whatever.
God damn it.
Yeah, better hope you don't have Dan's problem.
Oh, God. Speaking of which,
we say it with that tone where you want it to happen.
We should. Phil would not wish that on anyone.
I would not wish that on anybody. That's why I'm not buying one. I'm afraid it would happen to me.
But yeah, as an update on the smart delivery glitch, smart delivery now, quote, works on my system. It's just if a game's smart delivery, it will download at a measly 30 megabits per second, which is a 20th the speed it should be going, and goes on other games. So I can download a game successfully, in theory, across an entire day.
Yeah, I'm going to let you know immediately. I'm going to download some big boys and
Forza.
And see what happens.
Do you have Game Pass?
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, go get some potato chips.
There's like a billion games. You can't get me to go buy Prey, but I can pick up Game Pass and play Prey. I'll do that. I'll give that a shot.
I'm gonna go ahead and say you're gonna spend more time downloading Prey than playing it.
Probably.
There's a distinct possibility of that happening. I have no bandwidth cap. It's fine. I never want to buy a console again.
Why
This
is
was
that?
so bad?
What happened?
It's so they sell out within 1 minute. Still, even Xbox, Walmart did a thing where they're like,
well, even
at
one
this-
Xbox.
yeah, fucking Walmart. Walmart's like, at this time, we're going to sell Xboxes. You can go over here. I plant myself there and I prep. I set my default address and payment method so we can speed run our way through this card. The time comes. I refresh. They think I'm a bot. They're giving me a CAPTCHA every time I press any button. And the CAPTCHA's hit this bus. Click every part of this picture that's got a bus. We've cut it out into like a 9-piece puzzle piece. Click all the parts that the bus is in. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. You did it. Do it again. Do it again. I'm serious. They made me redo that CAPTCHA 6 times and they're like, it's gone. Thankfully, 20 minutes later, because they do a thing where they give out their slots in 10-minute waves.
Yes.
And on the third one, they forgot to tell you a third wave was happening. I was like, am I fucked? It's 44 after, and they're still saying the stock will be back at 40 after what's happening. And then it finally came in, and I sped through it. I almost bought $200 insurance on it. I was going so fast. Whatever, I got it.
Well, that's good.
It will arrive by April 9th.
What?
Whoa. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I have no idea what's going on.
So
there.
that's
Maybe
a
it'll
fucking
arrive
pre-order.
faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I basically pre-ordered it. I just want it. I want it without paying $600.
He pre-ordered a console 5 months after it launched. I've never fucking heard of that.
they're shipping boxes to retail called Xbox soon.
I assume it's like, okay, we accidentally took more orders than we meant to. Here's the next order will be this time.
That they might be doing it in like clumps where they're like, we're gonna set up, we know what inventory we're getting for like a month from now. We'll just do it now.
That's really weird. All the PlayStation sales have been immediate. Like they ship within a couple days.
Yeah, maybe a couple days from now they'll update it. Maybe this is like a worst case scenario thing.
Yeah, it's possible. You could just see on your doorstep on Monday and be like, what happened?
Yeah, it might be like that. I got a text after I bought it where it's my bank going, do you approve this charge?
I'm like, yes, God, yes, please don't cancel it yet.
And I said yes, and they're like, if your payments got denied, just do it again. And I'm like, if they denied,
I'll change banks.
I'll get you, Wells Fargo.
Oh, you have
that money.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I checked the bank. My money was gone, so I knew it was fine.
Cool.
I was like, I'm poor. This is fine.
Wait.
But yeah, I'm excited for Xbox VR.
Yeah, you can play Kameo with that, right?
Could you imagine they retro engineer VR via feature back compat like FPS boost and all these other things?
Jesus.
Every game's VR. Some of it's horrifying. Some of it will literally make you puke.
I want 120 FPS VR Banjo.
Sorry, it only works on nuts and bolts.
Fine, I'll just drop from the skybox and just scream while I'm falling.
Sounds like a great time. Glad you could get that Xbox. Didn't want to hear weeks of KZ not being able to get an Xbox while trying.
But yeah, this went surprisingly well. Like, this is 1 week or so after you said you wanted to get an Xbox, right?
So clearly it can't be that hard compared to certain other things, like a GPU!
Yeah. I'm glad because scalpers are insane.
I think it's just...
$750, $200 shipping to try and trick people on eBay.
Yep. It's going to be like that until like September, I bet.
I think the shipping cost thing might be because if you're a normal eBay user, not like a power seller, you have a actually pretty low like monthly cap on how much you can sell, but I don't think it includes shipping.
Oh.
So if you're like, I could sell this for $1,000, but then I'd be able to sell 2 Xboxes. But if I say it's $600 with $400 shipping, I can sell 4.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because I'm like, why the fuck is this dude in Kentucky selling me an Xbox Series X for $600 with $300 shipping?
Yeah, that's probably why.
You know, besides trying to bamboozle me.
We only have one more bit of Sony news. We can just cover that since we talked about Sony and Xbox. Can you cover your first bit of news here, Casey? That gave me a stroke.
Yeah, this happened this afternoon. Sony and a new esports venture, RTS, have jointly acquired Evo. That's just that's theirs, and they're doing Evo this year. And the business guy over there, Markman, notes that Evo is still open to all platforms for people saying that it was only going to be PlayStation fighting games from now on. It's like, no.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. One.
Yeah.
That's a weak take. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. Here's the enlightened take. First, PlayStation gets into anime. Now they're getting into fighting game communities. What's the next toxic community they're going to take over?
They bought Riot. Oh
no! First, I mean, they don't have the money to do that.
Jesus Christ!
I don't know how that one was just such a perfect setup.
Oh, but they say they're not gonna keep all other platforms out. But why isn't Smash in their list of rollback games for online Evo this year?
I just don't understand.
Nintendo probably doesn't want anything to do with any public tournament after last year.
I mean, they never do, so nothing's new.
Yeah, they never do.
Yeah, but especially now, they're like, no.
I'm surprised they're keeping Evo. I guess that's a name that is too powerful to tame.
People love Evo. They didn't know about the skeezy shit going on. Evo goes beyond those pieces of shit who have been ousted.
Right. So I guess this is for the best. I think that's right. Like that Evo is a cultural thing.
Yeah, that person doesn't own Evo moments. Evo owns Evo moments, and we are Evo.
Now listen, Sony. You have to do something to get us back on the best timeline. Skullgirl still has to be at this Evo because Mike C's no longer involved.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's even getting DLC this year. That would be great.
That would be the
fucking
best.
Cultural reset.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
And then Dan truly wins. It's Evo Grand Finals Day, and they fucking reveal Umbrella on the stage.
And then I start glowing. I have a quickening.
They reveal Umbrella and Ryu Third Strike.
They reveal Umbrella and Squiggly with a larger ass.
Impossible.
Man, you're saying the thing everybody's thinking. That's just like the fact, speaking of giant ass, holy shit, Chun-Li in Fortnite is insane. When she swims, her ass is so big it sticks out like a shark fin.
Based.
It's great.
That's unreal. Oh, man.
We have one more bit of Sony news over on Bob's side at the bottom.
Oh, okay, Bob. Yeah, let's clean it up. Let's do it.
Jade Raymond of Assassin's Creed fame forming a studio backed by Sony called Haven and working on a new IP.
Wait a second. Didn't Jade Raymond bail because of toxic fans? Dude, do you know what they just bought? They just bought Evo. Get out.
But now I think this is great because she's been like, it seems like she's been tumbling between different companies that continually screw up, like EA.
For like 11 years straight.
Yeah. It's like, I don't feel like she's actually released a game. It's had the Amy Hennig problem.
She's totally a parallel to Amy Hennig, and it's fucking insane.
What's a Jade Raymond game? Like, I know that it's the first, like, she worked on the first Assassin's Creed and apparently on the first Watch Dogs.
Yeah, I remember.
Like,
Jade...
I'm trying to get in my mind like what shape this game could potentially take.
AAA. That's all I got.
Yeah,
that's also what I came up with.
Like open world AAA. That's basically.
I didn't know Jade Raymond was a managing director on Metal Gear Solid 4. That's insane.
Yeah, that seemed weird that they put that in there. Because I knew that they did that weird crossover thing with the Assassin's Creed outfit.
And it's basically at the same time as Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 are being developed, on which first one, Assassin's Creed producer, Assassin's Creed 2 and Bloodlines executive producer. So, like, clearly busy doing that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess managing director on other things like Assassin's Creed Unity and Far Cry 4 as well. So shipped a few things.
Yeah.
I bet she's relieved. She's like, thank God. If it doesn't work here, it won't work anywhere.
Basically.
She's like,
Ain't that
this is
the
the
fucking
most
truth.
bulletproof place yet.
I'm
It's
not
true.
working on a Star Wars game that'll be canceled.
These motherfuckers will give you $200 million to make your fucking AAA game. They will. Like, Sony does that. It seems like they gave Kojima a small amount of budget because they wanted to ship before the PS4 ended.
Yeah.
Small.
That's what a
Stranding.
small game looks like, then damn.
Yeah, fucking Death Stranding
Damn.
indie darling.
Yeah.
The indie darling where I'm getting on my cyber motorcycle going up a wall.
And seeing
mountain.
4 famous actors. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, that's a good place to hide. Go there. That seems safe to me.
And this is an exciting thing that a publisher can do. They can make a new dev studio.
Make a new studio.
A new studio. What if I bought an entire publisher's worth of studios?
What if I went down to the capitalism Costco and got the giant bundle of IPs and developers?
And I feel safe in saying this will release a game in a few years.
Probably.
Unlike the quadruple A game that they've been working on for like half a decade.
That one of their major leads just left on. God, that's...
Yeah. Let's get out of here. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Hey, Bob, El Shaddai, go.
El Shaddai, yes. Earlier this week, El Shaddai confirmed for a mid-April release.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Later this week, according to producers, this isn't true.
Okay, thank you for the news.
Insert
Now-
Jonathan Frank's clip here.
Not this time.
Is it actually not true, or is it just going to be like, no, I just didn't want to admit we leaked?
Could you imagine a month before your game comes out? Shh, guys, don't let them know our game's coming out next month.
That'd be insane if it is actually true. Because why would you even try and do a cope at this point? You did a press release saying it was true.
Don't let us know our third Doom DLC is already out. You just didn't notice it.
Okay, Bob, let's round out your news.
Sure. Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance got a release date. That game that we saw is like a GoPro video 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's the dude with the face.
Yeah, the dude with the face, the camera right in his face. It looked terrible. Comes out.
Oh, I didn't see it got a release.
Yeah, June 22nd. The new trailer looks kind of cool.
Are we going to do a spoiler cast on Dungeons and
still
Dragons Dark Alliance?
I
It
kind of would
still
want
looks
to.
really rough to me.
It definitely looks rough, but I for some reason I'm more forgiving of a 4-player action game, just because I want one of those.
You're so cruel in this summary, by the way.
Yes, new trailer that uses a song that sounds like New Ozzy being bad.
Like, something about the animations is like, oh, that needs to be a little bit further away than June.
Yeah.
I don't know, as Feels describing it as that, I'm looking at this and I'm kind of floored that it looks anywhere near this good.
Right? It looks way better than what I expected. I
Same.
expected something on the floor.
I
Okay.
expected something a bit closer to Vermintide visually.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair too.
Yeah, so this is kind of blowing my ass out.
Yeah, I'll probably buy this day one. I like Dark Alliance a lot when it was, on the PS2.
Yeah, and it says here,
Yeah,
PS5.
it's not
Yeah.
like the roughness isn't really in the trailer so much, but if you look at like Game Informer's gameplay, you can see weird things.
Oh, there's a separate gameplay
Okay.
video? Okay, we'll have to check that out.
There's, I'm looking at an IGN like gameplay impressions thing. It looks like mid-tier Western like fantasy. It looks
just
like
it just has weird
Yeah.
stuff like the camera is super hard locked behind like Drizzet's back, but he's swordman, like it's a shooter. Like he's moving like a third-person shooter character, but he's using swords. So he's like, it looks a little bit weird.
Can you
It
link
doesn't
it to
look
the
bad, it just
gameplay?
looks odd. Yeah, sure. It doesn't look bad. It just looks like the animation isn't quite polished up, and maybe it will be by the time the game comes out.
Yeah, it kind of looks like those Mordor games, but with like $40 million less dollars. Something like that. Seeing them pick up gear that's like, this is rare.
I have to watch ads.
Oh, poor Bob.
It looks better than Godfall.
It looks like it could be a more enjoyable game than Godfall, but so did Godfall.
That is true.
I have more confidence in this than Godfall.
That's fair.
Just heck, I think I even like the aesthetic more than Godfall because that ended up really rough.
Well, yeah, this has Drizzt.
I like the aesthetic of Godfall more potentially, but because of all the graphics technology they used and how maybe not optimized the game was, it had a really noisy look to it that I did not appreciate.
Yeah, like I don't conceptually dislike the aesthetic of Godfall, but the way it turned out, I don't like at all.
Yeah, I understand that. But yeah, this looks like it could be really fun.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Especially
are we
if you
doing
do-
a spoiler cast?
It's actually 4-player, I think.
Uh-oh.
It comes out in the death zone. So wait, does it? Is it the death
It's
zone?
late
May
June.
25th.
No, it's okay. I thought it was 10 for a
late
second. I was
June,
like, no, but it's later, so maybe there'll be any chance of us playing it.
Maybe. Depends on whether or not the summer of gaming ever ends.
No, I don't want to think about it.
It only comes out, like 2 weeks after Ratchet?
Yeah, Ratchet, Strive, and Final Fantasy VII Remake enter grade.
It's dead.
I mean,
also, Ninja Gaiden.
Also, Ninja Gaiden, which isn't on our news, by the way. We should talk about that right now. It runs at 4K 60 on every platform but PS4 vanilla
And Switch, presumably.
and Switch, presumably.
No, they figured it out.
and Xbox One S, presumably.
I think they said normal Xbox One. Like, I
That's
think
a
that
lot.
was in the
That's
list.
probably
That's
a lie.
bullshit. There's
Yeah,
no
there's
fucking-
That would
way.
be. I'm assuming that's a mistake, but it is. Yeah, like
yeah, they describe all of them
okay.
as
They
being dynamic resolution.
they already fixed the. No, here. Yeah, they fixed it in the headline, but the Gamatsu article is like runs at 4K 60 when played on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, PlayStation 4 Pro, Xbox One, and PC. Oh god, they wrote Xbox Series X twice instead of Xbox One X in the first paragraph.
Oh my god. Okay, we're moving on. That how much was that
It's
again?
$40.
$40? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then $50 for some version that's special for some reason.
Yeah, I think I looked it up. It's like art book and soundtrack, or
Yeah, 180 track digital soundtrack.
That's pretty good.
Oof.
I did want a crisp version of some of the songs in one. Theo, we got to
Yeah?
balance this out. I need you to read your first article before we bounce over to KZ.
So Aggro is a psychic,
Yep.
and Amazon has announced that they are making games to help gamify work in warehouses, where it raise I presume it will be do our time sheets, but it's a Tamagotchi
And you get rewarded for doing it way faster.
with fake money. Maybe you can use it to buy a day off. No.
Nope. So they're incentivizing employees to work really fast and treat real work as a game, which could in fact cause more errors. A lot of employees are questioning if this is a good move at all in any sense of way in the least. And Aggro called this an Armchair Dev's Amazon Game Studio.
Yeah.
that was a Kiwami, right?
No,
No,
it just
okay.
had the
No.
energy of a Kiwami
Okay.
because it's Amazon.
No, it
Game
was a
Studio.
Kiwami.
No,
it was a
yeah,
Kiwami.
that was.
Yeah, that was a Kiwami, Dan.
Oh, okay. I snuck that in a Kiwami.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes,
he came
you
up
did-
with that
you
on
did,
the fly.
which made it more insane.
God.
Looking forward to them them announcing Prophecy, where you cannot search on Amazon without purchasing it.
It's gonna happen.
Please look forward to their hit game RPG. You want to ask about the visual style of my game?
Casey looks like Ben Swallow. Do you want to hear about my visual style?
I've answered this so many times. I'm really good at it now.
It's generated by Twitch chat. Hey, Casey, I hear we got a Final Fantasy news.
Yeah, there's a Famitsu interview, but Square also translated and put it on their blog. I only did the relevant stuff, so I didn't include the battle royale that seems like it'll just die on entry, but who knows? Starting up with FF7 Remake Intergrade, they confirmed the Yuffie DLC thing will be about 2 chapters long, featuring new materia, new summons, and enemies. You'll only be controlling her, but there's multiple combo attacks you'll be able to do based on like where you're positioned with your partner and that. That's about it on that. They initially weren't going to do a DLC, but they used it as a way to easily start getting used to next gen, and they said it worked out real well, and part 2 is proceeding well development wise. So that's pretty much it for Intergrade. just some small stuff. Ever Crisis got some more details. The chapters will be free. The game's going to be using a weapon gacha system like Dissidia Opera Omnia, which apparently is their least egregious gacha game, where you can actually get through the story stuff there without having to constantly throw money at it. So that's inspiring, at least. They're doing monthly chapters. The OG FF7 part will be 10 chapters long. Midgar will take up about 3. And there will be optional dungeons where you can like have different party makeups, because they showed Aerith fighting the first boss of FF7, which she didn't, and they're doing it through that. And that's it.
So do you think that if Sony Evo has Skullgirls, a bunch of time ghosts will suddenly appear around Mike Z and throw him out of a high-rise window?
I hope.
Oh, now you're a fan of the fucking time ghost.
He's like, no! And then it just blows him out of the window.
Yeah, if the time ghosts show up at my local Taco Bell and toss a person out of the kitchen and out of a fucking window when they fuck up my order, yeah, I'll become a fucking fan of the time ghost, Casey.
That's not even that dangerous. It's not like it's a 3-story fucking Taco Bell.
That's okay. Mike Z won't fall that far from his mother's basement either.
Okay, moving on. Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne HD is coming May 25th, according to a Nintendo of Europe press release. Finally.
Is that press release supposed to have happened? I feel weird that we don't know in America.
Right? I was like,
no. I think they did it by accident, but whatever. It should have been out by now.
did a producer come out and say that wasn't real?
We will find that out tomorrow.
Yeah, I was like, he's going to do that tomorrow. I actually went to enter this next news into the document, but Casey got there before me, and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I saw it, and I was like,
I was so close.
Yeah. Scarlet Nexus coming out June 25th. There's a new trailer, and they also announced that they're making an anime by Sunrise for it.
Oh, that's great. I hope Sunrise made this anime in the aughts. They did some pretty good stuff around that.
Yeah, I worry they'll have the curse of almost all game animes we talked about last week, but we don't need to talk about that again.
No.
It also, that trailer seems like it shows off a new character who might be a secondary main character.
Yeah, it was like a full character trailer for that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess she has like her harem of men. I think that's the tone I got from the trailer, at least. Maybe I'm making that up.
Maybe Bob's filling in the backstory for that.
My last piece of funny news. Super Bomberman R Online coming to basically all platforms, including crossplay.
Cool.
Imran Khan said, I was told over a video conference with Stadia people that this game would be impossible and could not be done on any platform but Stadia.
Yep, they sure did fucking say that.
Yeah, they like a lot of people do with cloud gaming like saying that, like Xbox did for years.
A lot of stupid people like saying that, like when Arthur Gies said that SimCity 2013 was impossible to run offline, and anybody getting mad at EA and saying it was possible was stupid. And then I think less than 6 months later, EA was like, here's the update that lets it run offline.
Yeah.
I think it was like within 2 months. It was rough.
Yeah. God, what?
And then Polygon reviewed the game 8 different times and changed the score each time.
So here's the thing. It's been that long. Why do we not have another SimCity?
I don't know.
How are they this stupid? God, they're so moronic. Whatever. Let's talk about Feel's other news.
Okie dokie. Disco Elysium, the final cut, is coming to PS4/5 March 30th. The PC update also launches that day. Switch and Xbox will come later this summer, I guess. I think it would be funny if Microsoft is like, no, you can't have an achievement called the world's most laughable centrist. You're not allowed to have that.
That's good that it's coming out. Confirmed for everything, and we got a hard date on at least 1/2 of the platform.
Yeah, I'm really excited to replay it because the insane things your stats can tell you being
voiced
might fucking kill me.
Yeah, no, that seems insanely great.
Like, God, what is it? What? Imagine hearing this voiced. These options seem awfully fascist or communist. What if I don't want to say them? Say one of these fascist or communist things or fuck off.
Gonna need to stream this.
Casey, they're gonna voice the line about the giant black guy calling white people the ham sandwich race.
And then I attempt to fight him. He grabs my fist and it says, unfortunately, he suffered his final heart attack.
Yeah. Doom Eternal came out today, the day we
Did it?
recorded this. Yeah. Doom Eternal, The Old Gods Part 2. Which I just want to mention how goofy this was. Because they're like, we're gonna release it. It's like they announced the announcement like 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Where it's
said,
like,
fuck you, it's out.
Yeah. We're gonna have a teaser on the 15th. We're gonna have a real trailer on the 17th. It's out tomorrow.
Yeah, that
It's like
they really
you could have cut out a couple of these steps. Went easy on your PR guy.
yeah, they really fucked me on this one.
Yeah, I was assuming it'd be like maybe April, maybe mid-April. That seems like what it would be with how they're acting.
Yeah, I was like early April, late March, super late March. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Tomorrow. Come on.
Activision Blizzard did some layoffs. It was mostly related to esports because they don't exist anymore, with COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
They gave them a decent severance package, 3-month severance, and then a year of health benefits. Also, cartoonishly, a $200 Battle.net gift card. Also, Bobby Kotick got a $200 million bonus, so maybe fuck that first part. They could have kept these people. Eat shit.
yeah.
You could have had them lick envelopes in the mailroom until esports came back.
Yeah.
Both of these things happened this week where it's like, yeah, Bobby Kotick got $200 million. The price of a Call of Duty.
God. SNK released the Terry Bogard trailer for KOF 15. I wouldn't even mention it, but it was actually a trailer.
Yeah, this one was 2 minutes instead of half a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2 minutes long. I got any sort of insight into how that game might play. It looks really fast. And they're like doing really fast short hops and fast neutral. It looks neat. Now, assuming they don't fuck up the rollback, I will buy it.
Yeah, I've got a developer and have with their thoughts on the on Terry, where they're like, Terry is back with his signature cap and sleeveless jacket. This time he's showing off one of his biggest features, his massive guns. I was actually a big fan of his muscles from the 2D games anyway. I hope fans can enjoy Terry's 3D model where his arms can be seen in all their glory.
This makes me more convinced that that there will be an SNK crossover in Guilty Gear and it will be Eeyore. And they'll just be like, no, his charm point is his enormous tits.
That's it for news.
Oh,
We did it.
Whoa.
Good job, everyone. Good job, listeners. You made it through. Hey, Bob.
What's up?
We recorded a lot of analog gaming.
Yes, we did.
We haven't decided what comes out next week.
Nope.
Actually, I just decided
Oh, yeah?
based on a comment that's in the Bouncer video that should have given it away. It's Mega Man X2. And the week we recorded this, the 2 weeks preceding, a bunch of people did Super NES videos, and it was driving me insane how none of their aspect ratios were correct. And I'm like, why is everything so damn skinny? So I had to record a Super Nintendo video again, so that way we could have some nice aspect ratios that are proper and shit on YouTube. So look forward to not a complete playthrough of Mega Man X2 on the CRT. It looks real good.
oh, come on, Dan. You could do that in like 90 minutes, I bet.
Easily. In fact, I was really close. But I was told that maybe we shouldn't do that for every Mega Man game we play on Analog Gaming, and that may be correct. Maybe.
Who said that? Was it Bob?
My lawyers have told me to not say who said that.
Was it Robert?
I've especially been told not to say whether it was or was not Robert.
Look, not everything. Look, we only have so much space on this hard drive.
That's true.
We had to record a lot of videos. We couldn't keep going.
We literally ran out of space on the SSD. I had to drop it to the internal SSD in the computer, and then we could record more. That's when I slept for a few hours and then got back to it as soon as I woke up. We, of course, are doing another We Share Your Dreams this week. No comment on what that is. And for giving games a chance, we're giving Billy Hatcher a chance.
Cool.
I get to know.
I can't wait to see the thumbnail.
Should I pregame with Balan?
No.
No.
Hell
yes,
yeah, you
yes,
should.
yes. You should. We need to have a I want to know if it's like, wow, Billy Hatcher beats the shit out of that game in every conceivable way.
I can't imagine it not. I've seen some footage on GameSack before, and I'm like, this seems okay. Every time I see Balan, I go, this seems not okay.
I've never heard a single person say this is one of the worst controlling things I've ever played. I've just heard them go, there's one part in the late game that I think sucks. Like, that's the worst I've heard about Billy Hatcher.
Then it's doing all right by Balan metrics. But that's what we have coming out in the next week. KZ, what are you up to?
I don't know. I'm breathing. I'm hoping this Xbox arrives in a reasonable amount of time. Maybe I can do a bonus stream of the large variety of great games on the Xbox brand. Kameo. Someone told me to play Breakdown.
You should get Sonic Unleashed.
Breakdown
Yeah,
is
okay,
a revolutionary first-person shooter, possibly one of the best ones ever made.
Sure. Bob's probably right in his opinion. Maybe.
Is this like when you say Nano Breaker's really good?
It is exactly like that.
Nano Breaker's fantastic. I don't know what Dan is talking about.
So is Breakdown. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm surrounded.
I mean, I also think Breakdown
it
is
has
good.
to be right. Nano Breaker appeared in a Bleach podcast recently. yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'm definitely gonna play Sonic Unleashed and go, look at that frame rate. It's sitting.
It chilled the fuck out. Mostly.
Finally, we've achieved what we've been wanting this whole time. 30.
Just like Kameo, the ideal platformer frame rate.
Yep. Yep. That's what everyone's really been wanting. 30 frames per second. God, 7th gen. Hey, Feel.
Yeah.
What do you got going on in the next week?
I'll hopefully be free of the curse of BioWare for 2 months until those Mass Effect remasters come out. I don't know what I'll do after that.
He just wanders the oasis.
I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll probably play Mega Man Legends 2 because I did play 1, so I might as well. And it's been a long time since I played 2.
Cool.
Congratulations on getting partnered a month ago, but missing the email.
Yeah. I don't even know where it went. It didn't go into spam. It didn't go into trash. I can only find it by searching Twitch.
It's really funny because it's like, wait, am I partnered? And I look and it's like, yeah, I guess they gave up on you responding and just turned it on. And you just see the check marks there now.
God.
I like the concept that feels like writing them a proposal and he's like, I'm a big dick Twitter man. Give me a partnership already. And meanwhile, Ma's like, I have a crock pot. People enjoy seeing what's in it.
I mean, you streamed for 4 days straight, so that probably won them over.
Oh yeah,
this guy will kill himself for our benefit.
Hell yeah.
I'm still just thinking about Phil just going, they fucking blew me off again. This was 2 weeks ago. He was already partnered.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why it didn't show up.
Like 2 times while you were technically partnered, you were like,
Yeah.
Can't believe they fucking ghosted me again.
I still do not know where that email went. It's so insane. Yeah.
We're done. Bye.
Bye.
Good. Now that they've turned off their mics, hey Bob. Hey Dad. Let's talk about video games. Oh no! Thank you for listening to this episode of The Big Think Dimension. If you would like to support the GB Podcast Network, head on over to patreon.com/GB Podcast so that way you can get exclusive behind the scenes on stuff, other content. There's a lot of content. It's basically non-ending avalanche of content. So head on over there, become a $5 backer or a Podlord today